Okay, so we're back in the motherfucking place to be. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
what up, y'all? This is you ain't shit for watching. If you haven't listened to my show before, the subject matter is basically whatever's going on in the world. I treat the show as a cookout at your fam's house. Y'all done had a couple drinks, you done kicked it, you sitting around the table. Conversations happen from there. Whether it be good, bad, right, left, whatever the situation is a conversation that may need to be happening or may not need to happen. At the end of the day, you're gonna say that nigga ain't shit, and guess what? You ain't shit for watching. So the main topic of conversation is Daystar popped out, right? I'm a big fan of Tory Lanez. This shit popped off with Tory Lanez, and the world turned against him. What I'm talking about is the incidents with him and Megan Thee Stallion, where Megan Thee Stallion was supposedly allegedly shot in the both feet, right? Both feet, and it changed the landscape of hip hop culture. Uh, from that, originally what ended up happening is you had news reports, you saw the clips of Megan Thee Stallion backing up.
Brandon,
They,
bruh, bruh.
yeah.
My bad to interrupt, bruh. But man, look at your screen. You can take that down.
What's going on, Gerald Jokes? Oh yeah, I see that. Okay. All
Okay, my bad, bruh.
right. Let me run that back. Pow pow. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right. My bad. But anyway, yeah. So basically, what we originally saw from the original incidents is, what was it? Helicopters, police, Megan Thee Stallion. I don't remember or recall seeing Tory Lanez in the video. I did see it later on, but in the original video, I seen Megan Thee Stallion get out and she was limping. The conversation at that point was she stepped on glass, um, and that's why she was limping. Her foot was bleeding. Later on down the line, you got she was shot. She wouldn't name the shooter. She wouldn't say what happened, but it all kind of angled towards Tory Lanez because that's what women would have you believe. Eventually, the story ended up being Tory shot me. He shot me. People will look for Tory Lanez for a response. He never gave one, and this is where we are now. Tory released his album, and his response was given. My thing is, if you do something well, if you do something great, never do it for free. And therefore, Tory put out that album following these same guidelines, same belief systems, and he told the story. Every time you listen to his portion of the story, he gets $1 from it, right? Man got his own label and everything else. So we're gonna open up the show with that, and we'll go from there. Thoughts on it? This is a habitual line stepper production. Long live the habitual line steppers. I want to welcome onto the panel my two brothers, Kev from Black Men Being Brutally Honest. That's the OG habitual line stepper. He really came out here and made it pop off and showed us what it was to get these channels running and what it do from there. And then we got the bright star of the gang, second only myself, that is the Roger Report. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, and let me give a slight correction. Or let me add a little bit to the legend. Donnie was actually the first one to step up and start a YouTube channel. So it eventually led to me coming to YouTube.
you
Of course, I had the Facebook group, and
you
and
know why I said it? I said it because you was the one who really came in here and did it. I did it because it was fun. You really came in here and did it as a goal. You said something and you actually made some moves and made it hop off. That's why you the first one of us to hit the numbers that you hit. Go ahead.
okay, well, thank you. I mean, really, yeah, yeah, and I don't feel like that I could have gotten, nearly as far without, a team of people that I could depend on. So I'll just stay humble at that. But I do have a really great channel over there. So if you take the time, check out my channel and check out the Roger Report Live, and he is booming over there Monday through Friday morning. So I mean, seriously, but I'll let him tell you about that though.
Look. I had some humble pie earlier, but I'm hungry right now, so I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm better than both these niggas. Okay, just just is what it is. Okay.
this this nigga channel disappeared. What happened? He gone? Oh shit! Yeah, hell, nigga, he been muted. Nigga, I don't tell him.
No, no. Real talk though. I'm just glad to be part of the team. Glad to be part of the team. And I see my man Gerald in the comments. What's up, Gerald? That's my dog right there. So, yeah. Let's get this. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping.
All right, so here's my thing. This album was lit. There's a lot of controversy surrounding this album. So before we even dive into the album, what are your thoughts? And I kind of prefaced it, so it's me cheating. But what are your thoughts on him releasing this album, talking on the subject matter of Megan Thee Stallion and the incidents that occurred? To which let's keep in mind he's still under criminal prosecution jurisdiction for.
Well, first of all, we wonder where he was all this time and why hasn't he said anything. And now we got our answer. He was working on an ambo. And to me, yeah, I feel like he has every right to be able to tell his side of the story, at least in such a way, because we honestly, and I will say myself as well, we condemn the man. You know, we all know that pulling a gun is dangerous, but it is multiplied many, many times when it's a female and when it's a black man on a black female. Because the whole issue of black women aren't protected, and him being cut down by many, including many in the industry and all over social media. He felt like he needed an answer, and I've listened to some of the album, like some of the main tracks that were mentioned, and they sound good. I have to say, coming into it, I never was really a Tory Lanez guy, but yeah, like I said, he has every right to tell his side of the story because it's like Meg, we all sided with Meg, then Meg came out with her side saying you shot me, and everybody's like, oh, Tory Lanez finished, a couple of memes here and there, and it's that's how it was, and I feel like we're all guilty of that because of societal pressure. Myself, like I said, myself included. But I always knew that she wasn't shit. What I'm saying. I always knew because it's like she put herself in that world, and all of us, and with that bullshit. Like, what is he saying? What are you saying, Bonnie and Slim? She came to the car. She started going off on her and shit, because of Kylie Jenner. So yeah, which it was
Can't
entertaining
believe
to
that
say the
nigga.
least.
That nigga ain't shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that.
So it was quite entertaining, man. It was entertaining, but can't wait to get in there talking more about it because like I said, we are in this mode where we really didn't give Tory a chance. We did give him a chance at all, and I think that he had some mending to do from the way it sounded.
Raj, what did you think of it as the resident nigga with bars?
He came with some bars. That's what happened. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. You know what I'm saying? Dude definitely got some bars on this one. He definitely telling a story on this one. Now, I'm in the same position as Kev. I ain't heard the whole album yet. I checked out a few songs. The man is telling his side of the story, and my whole thing is her side of the story didn't make much sense to me in the first place. So it's hard not to kind of go with some of the stuff that he's saying. But it's tight, y'all. I mean, you definitely should give it a listen. And at the end of the day, time is gonna tell. This man is either a genius or a complete fool because he's doing an album. you know, he's doing an album while the case is still open. So he's gonna garner some sympathy or some empathy from certain folks, which will probably will help him, especially if he finds himself on trial and you got to pick a jury. It's not gonna hurt you if you get more folks on your side, but you let the narrative run as it goes. The man's almost already convicted anyway, so more than likely, this is a genius move on his part. Real talk. This is a very crafty situation.
So you feel like the moves he's making is he's doing it big, and it's very crafty in the way he's pushing it, right? What do you think of the way he gave the context on his side of the story lyrically, right? Uh, Maybe not even lyrically. His version of events lyrically he spelled it out pretty well. But what do you think of his version of events?
I mean, what he said can make a whole lot of sense because the key notes of the situation is what's really going on between them two. And if they got into some type of beef or argument and it derived from him paying another woman attention, I mean, you the one got the man in her face anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't looking for her, you brought her to him.
You the one fucking up. You the one fucking up. Nah, because you know what? Everything points to that, right? So it doesn't seem as if Tory Lanez had been in her at her crib on a tight situation before. They may have met, they may have seen in person, but allegedly, from everything that we have uh, from media, as far as the story being told all across the globe, is they had Kylie Jenner in that wet ass pussy video, and after the video was done, hey, won't you come over to my house to kick it? And from my understanding, a part of this interaction was put on Instagram or something to that effect. So you really fucking up. So you brought the nigga over here, and now you mad she in his face. Well, that's a personal problem.
But I'm gonna say this, because I don't really
There's
follow
some
the
fools in this
Kardashians
house.
like that.
The booze in this house.
What's up, Gerald?
Shit.
What's
She was in
up,
the video.
Pimp G,
Finish.
I'll
Pimp
say
G
this.
in the place.
I don't really follow the Kardashians like that, but I know he's attached to the Kardashians and all that, and I know people made a big deal of this particular video, and some young ladies asked me to sit and watch, and I sat and watched with them. Kylie Jenner ain't ugly. That's all I'm saying. Like, she's not ugly.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
if you
Lil
tell
Rod
me,
is designed to be attractive. So if you look at her before and after pictures, she was a homely, basic white woman who is related to what's the nigga the nigga who's now a woman. Um,
Bruce Jenner that turned into
Bruce Jenner.
Caitlyn, I think her
Bruce Jenner.
name's still
yeah,
Jenner.
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn
Caitlyn,
Jenner,
yeah. So
ain't it?
he's now Caitlyn. So if you look at Caitlyn Jenner, you can't expect much. And if you look at their mother, Kris Jenner, Kris Jenner is all plastic at this point. All of the sisters are plastic. So you can't really tell what the fuck she's supposed to be based on her sister because they're all plastic. So if you looked at them and then you look at her, you're like, oh, she fit. But in reality, she's a basic average looking white woman with no lips. They plumped her all the way up, so she's designed to be a bad motherfucker. It's nothing you can do about that.
Mhm.
They spent the money, they got her looking good. It's just a wrap.
Well, I'm gonna say this as a brother that wouldn't go out looking for no white woman. If I tripped over and fell on that white woman, I wouldn't be mad. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me point out something. When the WAP video came out, the internet was like it set the internet on fire, of course, but it was one buzz where they were mad about Kylie Jenner being in the video. Like, they even made a couple of viral videos.
They're gonna be real mad now.
I don't get why they mad, because to me it's
I think they even
I just didn't
started.
like the fact that they was mad about it in the first place, because it make me feel like they feel so unattractive when they're next to her. I didn't like the way that came off to me.
I
Yeah,
think
Why you
there's
talking?
even.
She in there looking good. She in there looking good, but y'all was in there doing y'all thing too. So why are we tripping?
No, I
Yo,
think they even tried to petition
Yep.
to take Kylie Jenner out of the video. and
I'm not
Cardi
understanding what
B.
the problem. All them bitches is
Yeah,
plastic. So what's the problem?
I
Hey, hey,
mean,
hey, check this out. I was waiting on one of y'all to introduce me, so I got some questions.
Hey,
What the
you
hell,
Jared,
y'all?
to the people listening.
Jared,
This is an OG listener. This is a monster. This is Pimp G. This is Gerald, the motherfucking savage. Pop on in, speak and say what you want to say, because this nigga come with the realness every time, and guaranteed, just like the show say this nigga ain't shit. But go
But
ahead.
okay, my thing is okay. What y'all doing the night shift for? I'm about to go out to. I'm about to hit the streets, hit the block. I look at my phone. I'm like, wait, they on the night shift? What? I
Man,
say,
so
I call my boy up. I say, dude, I'll be over later, or I'm not coming out. I'm going. I say, I'm about to have me some fun. I'm staying home. So
listen,
first, Raj, I gotta say this: if you stumble up on that Jenna chick. The only benefit you're stumbling up on is access to a bank account. Let's keep
mm,
it real.
we gonna
Yeah.
talk about it. We gonna talk about it.
oh
Damn.
I'm,
yeah,
I'm talking bank account, baby. Where you want to go? No, baby. Where you want to go? Well, shit, let's do it. As
Listen,
far as Tory, yo, man, he's innocent and he finally got his words. What's really messing me up is why Bun B, another rapper, I think Ti, really Ti, you talking shit, and then you got Rick Ross. Why y'all beating this dude up? Now, Bum B, you ain't said shit since your boy got. I mean, your boy was supposed to have committed murder in a hotel. Which, come on, man, don't nobody shoot themselves in the head twice. Bum B, why did you jump on Tory Lane when you know how ratchet half them whole? I mean, half the women
committed murder.
in
You
Houston
talking
is.
about Pimp C?
I
So
mean,
it's
that's what
mine.
I meant. Pimp C, yeah.
He murdered
It's
himself.
mine. No, it's my understanding Pimp C died of a lean overdose.
See, see the discrepancies in the story. Story has it was a bullet in his head or a lean overdose. All I know is he was the first rapper that's saying, "I know what y'all doing. I know about that homosexual shit because the girls
Yeah.
are telling us." And all of a sudden,
Hmm.
it was erased. He wasn't. He just left. Now you bringing this up. You jump on Tory Lane, and all of a sudden, Time magazines put this chick or whatever it is on the cover, and now you saying this is the standard? Really?
yeah. This is
Well,
that. I thought that was pretty sad, but then again, it's not our publication. I had to think about that myself. It's not
Right.
our public.
so
They're gonna push any
I
agenda they want.
I
Go
That's
want
ahead.
to
a
Sorry.
Jared
address
scandal.
that off top, right? So when the conversation of Tory Lanez comes up and his album Daystar, y'all check that motherfucker out, stream it, listen to the music, cause I'm pumping it, right?
Okay.
When the conversation of Tory Lanez told his side of the story came up today because his album released, I think, at midnight or late last night. When that conversation came up, the responses were, "How dare he uh, make profit off of Megan Thee Stallion's pain? It's not the right time for that, brother. Don't you know that we got this stuff going on with Breonna Taylor? Oh Lord, how could he do that? That's some bitch shit.
I
Why
got
is he trying to get the money for that?" And my thing is, and I said it earlier, if you do something well, you need to charge for it. Now, every outlet that is talking about Tory Lanez and how dare he is profiting from it. So you're profiting from a man that you feel like is profiting off of some horrible, horrendous shit. Yet it's a problem when he tells his side of the story. My thing is fuck y'all. The nigga is a superstar. The nigga's a celebrity. If you want to peer into his life, you need to pay for it.
hey, it's all free advertisement. But since you bring up the Breonna Taylor situation, I may be the only one that thinks different because something is strange going on. Now, George Floyd, still suspect to me. I still think it was staged because of how they did it from Georgia to Louisville to Minnesota. But let's go back to the beginning. Notice how they don't even talk about Arbery no more. They don't even talk about their case. They don't talk about nothing. They talk about this chick that the mother or the family received money that quick. Now, wait, this just happened. It's not even a year old. It really
Quick
hasn't
like a
gone to
motherfucker.
trial, and you gave them the money, and now you running this woman thing. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I see your gender war going on. I'm just not buying it. And then you bring up this pole shit with Jamil Hill. Now I know why the white boy left her. He couldn't deal with that bullshit, man. Are you serious? Hey, and you said I was savage, so let's keep it real. He couldn't deal with that shit. He couldn't. And I honestly said, man, I'm out this shit. Because nobody can deal with these Western culture women anymore. It's like, damn, can't y'all, we just can't, you can't leave us be. Now you jump on the dude, and the dude did say she lied. I believe him. I believe him and the reason why I believe him, y'all, because there's too many brothers that's in prison. It's evidence of lies and contempt of what these tricks did. Let me say it again and just throw this out there. I'm throwing a pitch. There was a man who did a lot of time in prison for a bitch that had a dream that she got raped, and he was the victim. Okay, y'all take over. I'm gonna sit back.
A
Go.
dream. Ain't that about a
Ain't that a
motherfucker?
bit? So a dream? I'm gonna go to prison for a fucking dream, man, or whatever, man. Whatever. Well, y'all gonna make me go get a hot beer? You just come on.
Well, I'm gonna
But
say this, man. I don't know who his lawyer was, but golly, you could not be any worse than that man right
nigga,
there.
nigga, just quit your
Golly.
firm. Just quit. Just go ahead and go become a public servant. Nigga, go wash toilets. Nigga, do something else.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
Yeah, he need to get out the game. If he losing cases like that, he need to get out the game.
Yeah, man. So back to Tory Lane now. I truly believe him because just something was just odd about it. They said she was in the front seat, but when you look at the car, looked like she got out of the back seat. So okay, what's going on? Is this stage? Is this I hope the brother's telling the truth and he's not doing this for marketing value because you got to understand that a joker and a trickster, they are just that. They're jokers and they tricksters. The profit of their gain is to make sure that we don't come up, which goes back to your show, Raj, because it was a deep show. Your last shows have been good at my brother's keepers. Yes, the hell I am. I understand JoJo, the one that was talking like, hell no, I'm not gonna help them brothers. Why he not gonna help them brothers? Because he was born in that chaotic era of rap. I was born in the era of Marvin Gaye, Love, beautiful women who was naturally beautiful. This ratchet shit wasn't around. You had to have game to make a woman consider for her pulling her panties down or even having time with you. You really had to have an intellectual conversation. Now it's TikTok and pure ignorance. And Megan the Stallion is pure ignorance along with the rest of them. And talking about wet ass poo nanny. Do you see
Mm-hmm.
what Cardi B looks like when she got that damn makeup off? Offset just don't know he got the bargain. The only sad thing is he's got a child with this chaotic shit. It's chaotic. At the end of the day, all a man want to do is go home to peace. That is it, man. Peace. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right.
Peace. My big ass piece of chicken. Leave me alone. Shit.
Hey, Kev, do me a favor and check the back chat, and I'm gonna say shout out to Rain the Woman. I see her down there in the
Yeah.
chat. Hey,
Hey,
Rain the
Randy.
Woman.
Hey, love.
Yeah, she up.
Yeah. Kev popped on. He popped on with it.
Affirmative.
Okay,
Uh,
cool, cool.
I learned
so
that movie. I learned that. I learned that word in 1985. By the way, when I was very young.
so all right. So i- in terms of the music, Pimp G, did you get to listen to it?
Not me, but since you said I am gonna listen to it now. Yep. I'm gonna Is it
So
good though? Is it good?
It's
I'm
good.
gonna say that the album is fire. I'm a Tory Lanez fan, but this album in particular is fire for several reasons. He addresses it basically what you spoke on. He addresses Pimp C. He sort of addresses Chance the Rapper.
I'm slighted just because I'm from Chicago too. I feel slighted.
Shit, yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
get it.
goddamn, he hit that mo. He said the least about that motherfucker and hit him the hardest, in my opinion. He hit J.R. Ryder. He hit the women that was talking about him, which was Masika Kalisha. She's a loving hip hop thought who I guess she raps, she sings. I'm not quite sure it is, but her claim to fame is she fucked Fetty Wap and had a baby by him. He ended up mentioning her because the broad had an OnlyFans, and her thing is she did the OnlyFans, and I guess either to bring attention to her OnlyFans or maybe for a fan that was paying her some money. The bitch pretended she was kidnapped. It backfired, and then motherfuckers was on her head. So anytime, because she had fucked with Tory Lanez, anytime Tory Lanez had popped up, she was in the comments talking crazy, trying to give her little 2 cents. So Tory Lanez tore her up. Tory Lanez tore Kalani, the rapper, up. I did a show about her. She had the whole sickness. This was the chick who she had the bag. She was fucking with an NFL player, and then her dumb ass got caught cheating. No, she was fucking with the she was fucking with an NFL player, and she got caught cheating with Party Next Door on Snapchat, Instagram, one of them, whatever the story was. And the dude left her. Then her ass ended up in the hospital talking about, suicide is a real thing. It's a mental illness.
Oh,
So the
so
bag left. She
so
about to.
so 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 Tory Lane got the inside on all this bullshit, huh?
I wouldn't be surprised if he smashed Kaylani, but she was trying to be cool with him because Tory Lanez let's be honest with you, Tory Lanez is a rising star. He's on the level of Drake. Drake could rap and could sing, right? So that's why Drake took off to the level he took off. Yeah, he has some bars, but the man could rap and sing, and that was a thing that wasn't majorly done at the time Drake came up, right? You
Hmm.
didn't have Jay-Z hitting tracks and then going out and putting the he crooning to this. No, you didn't have that. Uh, so Tory Lanez came up after the fact. He also took at JoJo. JoJo is a rapper. No, I'm sorry, she's a singer who was a child star. She kind of faded in and out. But if I'm not mistaken, she paid Tory Lane for a single. I to this day I've never heard the shit, so it doesn't matter to me. But she paid Tory Lane for a single. Tory Lane's single hit uh top five on her Spotify. I don't know if people are familiar with Spotify, but your top five hits will come in the top five portion of if you type your name in, your top five hits come up. So on her top five hits, Tory Lane's come up. So when this whole Megan Thee Stallion thing kicks off, what she ended up doing was trying to say, "Well, I stand with Megan, so I'm gonna pull Tory off of my track." Now, her song blew up with Tory because of Tory, and
Hmm.
then she tried to gain some extra clout points by saying, "I'm pulling him off the track." Tory Lanez,
You know what they call that, right?
go ahead. What they call it?
What they call?
Virtue signaling.
Yeah, that's what it was. So she did the virtue signal. Tory Lanez in his album was like, "Hold on, all right, you want to remove me from the track? That's cool. Y'all paid me 50,000, so y'all can consider that a loss on your end. But let's
Yeah.
have some rules with that. Don't just take me off your deluxe album, cause ain't nobody listening to that shit. Take me off the original, cause every time I type your name in the Spotify, my name pop up in your top five."
That's called keeping it real. And I'm gonna say that's what called a bad move on her. If your best one of your best songs got his name on it, you should have just stayed quiet on that note. You know what I'm saying? Cause you need the bread. But if you on some I want to stand for women, I mean I get women be on some I want to stand for women. My whole thing was just that, man, I'm not gonna convict this man publicly, and we don't know what actually happened. It's just way too many people nowadays just trying to convict somebody publicly without even knowing the half of the story. I don't believe in a believe all women because I see women lying daily. So,
Hey.
so people may not like that I said that, but I try to keep my mind in the real world. Women lie way too much for me to believe all women.
Hey.
If they
Yes, yes, Roger.
if they just gonna tell the truth all the time, or at least on a regular basis, yeah, I wouldn't it wouldn't be that big a deal. But I didn't even get enough details to even get upset about this. A woman's with her man, she come up shot supposedly. You don't even really hear how damaged this foot is that was supposedly shot. But my thing is, come on now, you with your man. Your man got a gun, supposedly. You're a protected woman. Whatever happened between them is just whatever happened between them. It's a relationship issue, you know. And who am I to get all up in a relationship issues? Even if the most horrible story that she told was true, and that means she likes sleeping with a man that treats her that way. Why? Who am I to tell her not to do that? You know.
Hey, you
That's
say
a
you say it all the time, Raj. You just say I just say some black women are no good. I say majority of the Western culture because it's a Western thing. And if you add up the numbers, everything in a day in the United States of America adds up to money. They making money when they sleep. They making money when they at brunch. They making money when they doing some of the most horrendous things, and they always throw our people in the mix. They could throw anybody in the mix, and now they have spreaded this disease all over the damn world. You know what I'm saying? You know that's why for a black man, no, let me stop saying for a black man, for a brother, we're guilty till proven innocent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we guilty at birth. At the end of the day, I mean,
Mm,
like, you ain't no black man finna make no. You're not gonna be famous and successful and not get hit with some type of charge or accusation. That ain't gonna happen. You can be famous and broke, which a lot of people ain't gonna be really famous and broke. They'll let you have that. You can have some bread and nobody knows who you are. You can have that. But if you talking about famous and you got money, something
mm-mm.
going they're gonna accuse you of something eventually. It's just it ain't going you can't be famous and rich and not have an accusation against you. Not when you're black. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to NC Worker. Um,
Yeah,
Whoa.
shout out to NC, the Sneak,
and also,
and
and
Raining Woman.
also, yeah, hello, Rainy Woman.
Uh,
But
so 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 what y'all heard the bars? I wanna crack into the bars of the first song. What did
Let's go.
you think of the first track and what he was speaking on? I know you don't have any concept of it because you didn't hear it, Jared. But what did y'all think of the bars in the first song?
I mean the song was tight, plain and simple. And
feel like he poured his emotion into it.
man, it sounds super real. Real
What's
talk.
the
You know
name?
what I'm
Yeah,
What's the
saying?
name
yeah.
of what is the name? Friends Before Strangers? Which one?
Money before. Let me see.
Money
Let me
over
really.
fallouts? Is it money over
Yeah,
fallout?
money over fallouts.
Yeah.
Dude, you might as well go on play a little bit of it. Let's do it. You know,
YouTube.
Yeah, you
oh,
ain't finna hit me with the copyright. Not tonight. Not
Yeah,
tonight.
that's
Right.
definitely
You
No,
copyright.
no, sir.
okay,
right.
you know
You
what? You
asking
know
for it to be
what?
taken down.
I got my phone. I'm taking y'all talk. I'm gonna listen. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Y'all keep
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Correct that one, and then I'm gonna tell you the next one. I'm gonna let you to listen to the next one, and you can come back. All right. But yeah, fellas. All right. So what do you think of money over fallouts? Right. So I'm
Real
I'm
quick,
I'm
real
gonna, I'm
quick.
gonna speak some of the lyrics, but
Hold on,
y'all
real
y'all can
quick.
go for it.
Before you do that, Kev, did you see the message I sent to you in the back chat?
I said affirmative.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool.
All right. So yeah, what did you think of the lyrics? Now, so the first track basically has all of the news clips. So you heard Donkey of the Day, you heard people talking about him. Basically the media shitting on Tory Lanez, and it was people like fuck Tory Lanez,
I hate his
saying
You gotta
chains.
mute
I hate his
Gerald. You gotta
yeah.
mute
tattoos.
Gerald. Mute Gerald. Mute Gerald. Mute Gerald. Mute Gerald. Mute Gerald. Mute Gerald.
Hold on, hold on,
Done. Done. Nah,
I got it,
I'm
I got it, I
talking
got it.
to you.
I got
Okay.
you, I got
Cool.
you, I got
Cool.
hey,
I'm just yeah. Here we
Mr.
go.
Jerry, you over here doing your
Yeah.
damn thing, but
Yeah.
hey, you're
Mute.
gonna have to
All
hit
right.
that
Just
mute.
mute him up. Mute him up.
All
Okay.
right, he mute. All right, so
Okay.
hopefully
Cool.
they don't get this. They don't get the strike here. All right, all right. So yeah, all right. So let's backtrack. Back to the song. They hit that nigga with the donkey today. They said he shot Megan. Yeah, what did y'all think?
Man, I think Kev said it right. The man sounded like he poured his heart into that song. Like real
He
talk. I
did.
I
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I could feel what he was trying to give out there. Real
yeah.
talk.
Plus it was a reflection of the condemnation that he received because of everything that happened. And I mean, it's like nobody even gave it a chance to hear his side of the story. They went ahead and just said, "Hey, fuck Tory Lanez." You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
and I don't get down like that because if that happened to me, that tells me everybody do the same to me. So I wasn't gonna convict that man over just what some woman accused him of, because and I know it doesn't sound politically correct, but I'm old enough to know if a black woman says something about what a black man did, I need to see about it for myself, or I need to see the words he actually used myself, because 9 times out of 10, I would not get a correct story.
And you get a deflection though when you say stuff like that.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
it's a hard
they'll
truth.
say stuff. They'll say stuff like, what if it was your daughter? You know, stuff like that.
Well,
And I
my
really
thing is,
hate when people,
but what if it's my son?
You gonna have me fucked up. But I got one of the lyrics right. So I got nothing but love to spread, but niggas hate me, hurt my head to hurt my heart to see them Twitter fingers come from Kaylani and Cash pages, right? So he's talking about Kaylani, the singer, and Cash Doll. But I flipped the switch. I'm gripping my money at a fast pace, and don't ask me for shit when it get real. That's my last favor, right? So these are two artists that he worked with, that he was fucking with. They turned on him, and he was like, "Bitch, y'all are done. Yeah, y'all flipped the switch on me and was talking crazy." What do you think of that particular lyric, them lines? Because I really do feel
did
like he poured his heart out for this, like y'all said.
Well, I think he's just keeping it real. I mean, the man going through something now. We don't ain't he. You know what I'm saying? Like he said in one of the tracks, he ain't convicted of nothing yet. Everybody's got in their own mind and just making their own decision with no evidence, and people don't really even know what the story is, even up to this point. That he's just did something wrong, and we really don't know that. So if you turn on me, you know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to help you out over what somebody said about me, and you don't even know that it's real, yeah, I'm done with you too. I ain't helping you no more. I'm good.
It's like, yeah, nah,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
you
And
playing
then
games.
yeah, what I was saying was before I dropped off. I don't. I mean, it was. Did they even bother to ask him what happened? Like, what happened, dog? Like, what's going on?
So
They just
that's
hopped the
the cold
bandwagon.
part. The nigga has a track. I don't know if it's in this song. I think it's in this song where he's like, "You motherfuckers had my number. You didn't even make a phone call."
Mm, 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 mm.
I mean, that's real talk, because you got to think about it. When you're famous, everything's gonna get said about you at some point. You know what I'm saying? Famous people have had all kinds of accusations, but if you famous and you really that serious about it, and you can't pick up a person and call them and say, "Hey, bro, what's your side of the story?" Well, can you even say anything? Now, I can understand if a person said, "Well, I can't speak about it, whatever, blah blah blah." But you at least give them a chance to say their side of the story. If you didn't give them a chance to say their side, tell their side of the story. If him walking away from you makes sense to me, I don't see what else you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's 100. That's 110. If you supposed to, it, to me in my mind, right? If and this is the way I look at it, right? So Gerald is not here.
He probably handling that track right now. Might have pulled him in.
But if somebody say something about
I'm
Gerald,
here. I'm here. I'm here.
I got Gerald's phone number. I can talk to Gerald, and instead of me talking to Gerald, I say some whole shit over Twitter, Instagram, etc., and discount this nigga and walk away. That make me look a certain way. Male, female, however you want to look at. We supposed to be tighter than that, and you didn't give me an opportunity to rebuttal, but you took off and ran and talk about me. That make you look a certain type of way. So the nigga got a valid point.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
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 we
we
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
You messing
Yep.
around. Yeah,
I
we
got a
messing around.
question, and whoever can answer, take your best shot. Take
Shit.
your
All
best
right.
shot, because I just heard the and I'm listening to it. I had to stop because he say, "How do you get shot in the foot and don't fuck with a tendon?" I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. How do you get shot in the foot and don't? I mean, because honestly, she ain't supposed to be up and walking. She ain't supposed to be not a foot. If you break your ankle, they're gonna put you in one of those casts, those plastic casts now. So it's like, oh man. So they messing with his money. I think he got set up. I think he got set up, y'all. I think he got
So
set up.
so
Man, I'm telling you. Go
one of
ahead.
my thing is in the lyrics, and this is also another theory of mine, but in the lyrics, he more or less says like, bitch, you wasn't shot. Like, I'm not understanding. And you told the police you wasn't shot, and they believed you.
They said it
Now
was
these are
crazy.
people. Yeah, you are people who like this is the L.A. police. This is not like the police in bumfuck Egypt. This is not the police in Oakland, Oklahoma, Omaha, where like it's not a constant shooting. They know what gunshots look like. So you told the police glass hit your foot, and they looked at it and was like, yeah, that's feasible. They know better. They know better. You showed us the picture of your feet, and it, to be honest with you, that could have been a really bad glass. Like that could have been a
Yeah,
lot of things.
yeah, I
That
agree. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
go yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It could that could have been a lot of things. Do we have an actual police report of bullet clippings, bullet shavings coming out of your feet? Like like what happened? So you telling me that somebody hit the ground with a hollow tip and it bounced up and hit both of your feet? It hit both of your feet.
Man, let me tell you something. They probably like these like I'm gonna do like people on the internet. I'm gonna compare her to like Jesus Christ. You know, if you getting shot in the foot or you get shot in both feet, you supposed to have a hole in your feet. You act like you walking up to kids and they putting their finger through that hole. I survived it. I persevered. I survived. Like, it's like why she ain't got no holes in her feet? I mean, she's still walking around drinking martinis on the beach. Got her bodyguard talking about he gonna protect her, and she talking about he creepy and shit.
Oh, the extra swole over the top nigga who's doing extra shit in the
Discount
background.
discount flow rider.
Yeah,
Just
that nigga was doing too much. Nah, I 100% believe that shit. So that now at the point where I'm at now is like you said the shit, all right, but do you got some proof? Do you have proof that you were actually shot? Motherfucker said that, and we're supposed to believe you, but now I got
believe
some
all women.
questions.
Believe all women.
Mm, uh-huh.
Hey, dude, we talking about your homeboy on the show. The show is called. It's on YouTube. It's called You Ain't Shit for Watching. We talking about your homeboy Tory Lanez. Yo, man, he didn't shoot that bitch, man. Man. I think that dude got set up, man. Seriously, that's why I took off the mic so I can talk to you. I think they set that dude up, but I'm gonna call you back, and you keep looking at that movie. But yeah, man,
This
brothers take.
nigga, wait a minute, is this nigga? Hold on, I know y'all hear this. All
Yeah.
right, so I thought he was talking to us. This nigga's on the phone telling people to listen to us. Hey, I'm gonna mute this nigga. He can come back on. Uh, I appreciate him bringing other people over to it, but no, they dead ass. I agree with the nigga 100%. It's the more you get into it, the shit sounds suspect. Uh, resident lyricist, Radio Raheem. Radio Raheem, are you there? All right, well the nigga's
My
not here.
bad. No, my bad. I had it muted. My bad. Because I'm
All right,
sure.
yeah. So
My
what did
bad.
you think of the bars from the first jump off that he
Man,
did?
the bars.
Money over.
Man, it was on point, plain and simple. The dude did his thing on this one. You know what I'm saying? It was on point. The way he told the story as a person who used to really pursue rap, man, it felt real to me, bro. I felt the man was telling the truth. I felt it coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's the way rappers rap where you feel what they saying. You get the energy off of it. Man,
Right, right.
it seemed extremely real to me. So he paint one hell of a picture. For this to be a made up story, he paint one hell of a picture. So seemed like it's some truth to it to me. And man, I mean, my thing is I'm not gonna convict this brother yet. You know what I'm saying? And I still got questions about her because this whole thing about her being shot in the foot, just like Kev was saying, like ain't no hole in the foot. She's up moving around. I've been wondering for the longest, did she get shot in the foot or did she get grazed? or did like a gun fall because they was drunk? Did he have a gun on his lap? Get out the car, then the gun hit the ground, goes off, then hit her in the foot, like it
Well,
ricocheted against something. It's a lot of questions I got about this situation, especially
so
'cause I keep hearing she up moving around.
as a person who's had a foolish life, right? Uh, and I'm sure you should, nigga, you from Chirac. So you ever heard of a person being grazed by the bullet and then they have bullet shavings or particles of the bullet in their body if they've been grazed by a bullet?
Not off of grades, bro. And see, I'm gonna tell you something. When I was a shouty way back in the day, right? I stepped on a nail. It was a long nail, right?
Ouch, ouch.
Ooh,
I'm in the
fuck.
backyard being a kid, right? I step on a
Ooh.
nail. I
Tetanus
run,
shot.
I run into the crib because this is awful. This is the ruin in my world at the
I'd
time,
rather
right?
be shot, to be honest with you. Shit.
Joe, by the time I get in the house, sit down on the chair, you know what I'm saying? My parents was there. I sit down on the chair, I'm crying like a mug. They trying to ask me what's going on. I ain't even talking. I hurry up, take my shoe off. By the time I get the shoe off, sock is already red. You see what I'm saying? I'm crying like a mug because I done stepped on the nail. They trying to explain that he stepped on a piece of wood. Well, it was a big old nail in that piece of wood. So they had to rush me to the hospital, bro. And that wasn't comfortable for a while for me, and that was a nail. So this whole she been shot in the foot thing been messing with my head because for me to believe she truly got shot in the foot, I just can't see how she was just up and active so quick because everybody kept saying, "No, she up moving around right away," and I was like, "That don't make sense." Not after being shot in the foot. You need to be on crutches or something for at least for a little while.
Hey,
Something.
but you know what though? They
A
say
stitch.
like there's some stories out there that say she got shot in both feet.
Okay, so no, she was shot in both feet. That's what the story is. I
What?
remember they showed a video. I remember seeing one foot clearly. However, the story has been, as long as I remember, she's been shot in both feet. So that was the only thing that made me go, "This is feasible." That it's a ricochet, that the bullet, excuse me, that the bullet hit the ground and it ricocheted and pounced back and hit both of her feet. Right. That was the only thing I felt like was possible because at the moment they said she was shot in the foot and her ass walked anywhere, I was like, it's either a small caliber bullet or a ricochet. So if a nigga hits you with a 22, I believe you can walk around that shit. 22 will bounce it. I believe you can walk around. But if they hit you with a 9 or a 45 or a 40 or a 10 millimeter, you gonna bleed out. That's the end of the story.
Well,
Well, I
I got
saw
one.
hopping out the car, so I don't know if you can actually hop with two with a bullet in both feet. I actually saw the footage, and she literally hopped out. Now it's funny because Amina on NREG TV said, "Why did they blotch out the spot where your private part is supposed to be?" That's why people keep saying that's a damn man. And somebody, I saw another picture that's very graphic, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. But it did show, like, wait a minute, something ain't right. Something, the whole situation, y'all, something ain't right.
I'm not gonna accuse a lady of being
Mm,
a man, but I'm I'm gonna say this though. Uh, if you got shot in the foot, you know, I'm, okay. Let's look at it like this. Okay, um, I don't know. Most people have had some type of injury growing up. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you got shot in the foot, you have to deal with that at some particular point in time. So
right.
give me a limp, give me something. You know what I'm saying? Give me something to make sense of the situation. And then I gotta ask the question, first of all, why did you get shot in the foot? And if you got shot in the foot, if you're gonna tell me this came out of anger, who shoots somebody in the foot out of anger and stops right there?
I don't know. Nobody I know.
I mean, saying somebody got shot. If I'm angry at you and I'm trying to chase you down and I'm really trying to cause harm to you, if I went to the trouble of shooting you in the foot, of course you must have failed at that point. Because who gonna keep running if they shot in the foot? You got to hit the ground at some point. So you telling me I can't walk up on you and shoot you again somewhere else? And
Let
who's
me
gonna be that mad that they're gonna shoot you in the foot and then just stop?
Yeah, pretty strange, man. It's a pretty strange situation.
Yeah, I
let me
mean,
let me give you another angle on this, right? So across America, this is pretty standard. If you were to go to the hospital with a gunshot wound, right? This is a hospital. The hospital know what bullets are. They know what bullet fragments are. So if you go to the hospital and they pull a bullet fragment out of your ass, or they pull a whole bullet out of your ass, what is the procedure?
Anything with involving a gunshot, they supposed to contact the police.
Okay, so we know Tory Lanez went to jail that night.
Hmm.
Tory James has Tory Lanez has a set of charges on him. None of them include shooting a person, reckless endangerment. He has a charge for a concealed weapon. So if she really went to the doctor, if she really went to the hospital and they gave her stitches and they pulled bullet fragments out of her feet, why does he not have a charge for shooting a gun?
Cause and now and to my understanding, he's supposed to be a felon. Ain't supposed to have a gun at all. Is that true?
I'm not quite sure the details of that because if he is a felon, there would be an issue between him coming over the border and American
Mm-hmm.
citizenship back and forth. So I'm not quite sure. I do know he said something to the effect of, "Look at her record. She got a history of domestic violence, and you can look at mine." And
Mm.
maybe he might be clean. He might just be rapping that shit, or maybe he's a quote unquote street nigga who's never been caught up. But
Okay. Well, see, and this is my thing. I mean, because if you go to jail and a woman just got shot. Now, if you're not supposed to have a weapon, of course, yeah, they're gonna hit you with a charge. Now, if you're a felon, which was somebody was trying to tell me, and I wasn't really getting that part because he's supposed to be Canadian, so I don't even know why
Yeah,
he
he's from Toronto. He's from
right.
Toronto. He's T.O. boy.
But I'm saying though, so if you were from Toronto, how did you even get over here to get a felony in the first place? So that wasn't making a lot of. It's not that anything I'm saying is impossible. It can happen, but the probability is a little bit lower that you
my
actually got
my nigga,
arrested.
you can't go in if you're an American and you have a like a bad case of DUIs. They're not gonna let you into Canada. So I'm trying to understand. I don't believe the nigga has felonies. I did a
I
little
don't think
quick
so
look.
either.
I think there's some charges. I'm looking at some charges that have allegedly been dropped, but I don't see like he's a felon.
Mm.
Yeah, so I don't think he's a felon at this point because I would think he'd have been held longer if he was you know what I'm saying, if he was a felon.
They got a nigga a 30,000 bond, a $30,000 bond, and in
That's $3,000.
California, and California, gun laws are different, right? So they call it the Wild West, but really they're referring to Nevada, Arizona, like Utah, like these places. That's where it's the Wild West. California, they have strict laws because crack cocaine in the '80s,
Yep.
pistols, all of that shit has changed completely. So you can't run around on some cowboy shit like that. You gotta have your license and everything together. So motherfuckers aren't if you come into town, you visit and shit like that, you're not gonna get your shit together. He's supposed to have a security man that's gonna have that gun and hold it for him, which is probably how he's gonna beat that case. But I don't know.
Mm.
Well, my thing is, I want to know, is her footy really damaged? And if her footy is really damaged, and how damaged is it? That you know, what I'm saying? I need to know that for me to be like, okay, this man really shot her in the foot. Because the thing is, this could be the story that's been told. Something else could have happened, and maybe he just never said what it was. That's what I had been thinking for a minute.
Well, you know what that brings me to the second track, right? So let me see what the second track title is. This is so we can get that out the way.
Oh,
The second track
he's
is
basically
Sorry
telling
But I
us
Had to.
really.
Sorry But I Had to. That Sorry But I Had to is where he addresses Bun B. And and to be honest with you, the way he addressed Bun B, nigga, that cut me deep.
Why? Why? Come on, break it down.
So he brought up Pimp C, but they blurred it out. It don't take a rocket science to. He was like, "You saying this shit? You got on. You basically you got on Instagram and you said I should burn in the cage. In this climate, in this culture, how you gonna say a black man turn him into a slave, right?"
Mm.
So that shit cut. I was like, "Oh shit, all right." But if you remember UGK, the month first off, Bun B. I'm not gonna take away from Bun B's legendness, right?
You
I
talking about
won't
Pimp C
either.
or Bun B?
Bun B. You're not gonna take away from Bun B because he was a legend. But I said like my friend said it. Wait, we ain't heard from you in a while. You didn't even talk that much when Pimp C came up dead. But now you said it. Him and Willie D. What I don't like what they said is now how they caping for women. And even Bun B said something that was very ignorant. He said that women, black women, have stood by our sides from the days of old. These women now are not the women of the past. And I'm like, Bun B, that might have been the most ignorant thing you said. And then Willie D started caping. And I'm saying to myself, one of the strongest plantation states that you better not fuck with till this day is a state called Texas. Everything in Texas is big. Let me tell you about Texas, y'all. Just Texas alone, where we come from. You really want to know who was ruling the world at one time? Just go to the mob in Pennsylvania, New York, and you can go look at it in the movies. It was Texas. Texas, those crooks in Texas, they the one that went to Vegas and say, yo, we want a piece of the pie. They say, man, get the hell out of here. All right. And people in Texas went right back to Texas, called their friends in DC, and guess what happened? And now you drink your Hennessy and your Crown. Guess whose symbol is on that? That's the government symbol, yo. Seriously. Texas is something else. If you look at most of the presidents in the United States, where do they come from? The South. So for him to put a rope around Tory Lane's neck and not listen to the story, and for caping for these women, many men are 6 feet under because of situations like this. Talk to me. Talk to me, somebody. Talk to me.
Um,
Talk to me.
yeah, man. Like I said, it's very easy. I think I tried to push this point earlier. It's very easy to condemn the male in the situation, especially if it's a black male, because they keep pushing these narratives that black men aren't protecting black women. And how can you say that when black men, in fact, do protect women, not only physically, but in narratives as well? And why don't men like, who Gerald mentioned, count themselves when, when they start talking about black men protecting black women? And I've said this also in the past, and this is the complaint: is that I'm not going to waste my time protecting women who, number one, aren't my family, and number two, fly into trouble. I mean, not to say, not to make it sound like victim blaming, but I can't protect you if you keep looking for trouble. So, that's how I feel about that situation right there. I mean, and as far as rappers go, and Bun B, from the songs they have made as UGK, I mean, it's pretty easy to bring it up.
Right.
Tory Lanez did what anybody would have done. Willie D also, you can bring up stuff. You, and you can't keep holding it against the guys. I mean, you can't just keep holding against it because they're trying to make a point. I certainly believe that they do mean well, but they threw him under the bus. I mean,
Through them.
Bun B threw
Mm-hmm.
him under the bus, and and Tory Lane's whole point. I remember this whole time. His whole point is nobody even gave him the smallest chance to tell his side of the story.
Not a chance.
So remember, this is my thing, right? If you listen to Pimp C, if you listen to Bun B and UGK, the star out that group was only one person.
Yeah, I know. We
It
all
damn
know.
sure wasn't Bun B. Yeah, we all know, right? You said like, yeah. No, we all know. The start that when Pimp
And
C
let me
got
and let me
locked
put
up.
a let me put a disclaimer out there. When Bun B came out with Trill, I enjoyed Trill.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh yeah,
did.
it
You
was
know,
it was it was nice. It
good
was it was
weed,
nice.
good drink. You know that song.
It it
Yep.
was nice, but it was nice because of the features. It was just we gonna call a spade with spade. We gonna
I
call a
mean,
spade with
Pimp C
spade or
was
not.
on the song I just mentioned.
It was nice because of the features. But Pimp C got locked up. The whole time Bun B held it down
He
for
did.
Pimp C. So we give you props for that. But when Pimp C came home, it was an explosion like no other. This motherfucker got on. I was getting some head. And told that whole song that we was like, oh shit, Pimp C's back. The nigga he got to talk about Atlanta. Oh, they not South. They on East Coast time. Everybody wanted to hear what Pimp C was gonna say. This nigga was on multiple mixtapes. He was on multiple videos. He was on all that Leroy shit with the rapping and pimping. He was on Pimpin' Ken mixtapes and Pimpin' Ken videos. Pimp C blew up. So you got to understand the element, the gangster, the motherfucker who really had the heart and soul of that group was Pimp C. So one thing I respect about Tory Lanez is he mentioned Pimp C without mentioning him. He said the bar and he blurred the bar out.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Let me mention. Sorry to interrupt.
nah, run it, run
But
it, run it.
let me mention what Bun B does right now, or what he was doing a few years ago. He still might be doing it. Bun B is a hat designer, a ball cap designer.
Mm,
Like seriously, like if you research it, you can find it. He's real with that. He designs ball caps. Makes personalized ball caps. Stuff like that.
Okay. Wonder why he didn't
all right,
continue
well,
on this rap career. I wonder why he didn't do
because
that.
the nigga wasn't that great. But
Oops,
we
oops,
gonna keep rolling. We're
oops,
gonna keep rolling.
oops,
But
oops,
like I said,
oops.
Pimp C was a star. So the nigga basically said, if we knew it was Pimp C, he would be pissed at you because really you threw this man under the bus for a bitch that we don't know if she lying or not. You think Pimp C would have stood for that? Nah. And then he
Nah,
goes on to say, no disrespect to Pimp C, no disrespect to Pun B, but you niggas put out Big Pimpin'.
sure
You was
did.
pouring champagne over bitches with their tongue out, flicking. So, I'm not in the position, you my elder, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find a word. What they flicking. I'm too young to give you lessons, but I like to give you one. Please stay the fuck about my case. I ain't convicted, son. So
Oh, he said
the
that.
yeah,
Okay.
so understand the level of gangster that is, right? I got an active pending case. Why the fuck would you come up out here and be saying some slick shit to me? And I gotta go in front of them people. I gotta go in front of them laws. And you sit up
Mm.
here trying to put me in a position where I gotta tell my story, the whole story, and nothing but the truth to your goofy ass court. And I gotta go in front of these crackers. Listen,
Oh.
I'm giving you bars to let you know I didn't do this shit and I didn't give you enough to put in court. I didn't do this shit. So they're
Oh.
paying for his legal fees for his XYZ. And he's telling you, because realistically, if Pimp C was still around, Bun B would have never said that shit. And if he did, Pimp C would have checked him and the shit would have been retracted.
I like your
But
analogy,
but
man.
but but Bun B is now around here telling black men to protect black women and love black women even when they're wrong.
That's because Bun B didn't have a pocket full of stones.
Did you go there, you Richie? You know that. A pocket full of style. Yep, yep, yeah, yeah. I'm like I say, I'm a listener tonight. This if he listens to it, he should this should help him to analyze what he did. I just couldn't believe the dude was caping like that. I'm like, wait, this is not what your lyrics used to say. Even again,
Yeah.
Willie D, nappy headed, no, bald headed hoes. That's what he wrote. Bald headed hoes in
Oh, you
life.
talking about Willie D? Yeah, he
Yeah, man.
Willie D wrote Bald Head Hoes, and in a track that I grew up on was I'm Not a Gentleman or a Nice Guy or a Good Fella. Bitch, I don't care if you 9 or 99.
Man,
So now to
man, I
be
remember,
Get your
I
what?
own
remember,
fucking coat. Your code is mine.
I remember when I was in junior high school. A bunch of dudes went through the hallway chanting "bald headed hoes." Them the teachers ain't do. Teachers ain't do nothing about it. It was an amazing sight. Thanks, Willie D.
And this the shit I'm telling you,
Yep.
like this the like motherfuckers be talking about that. Oh, I'm red pill, I'm blue pill, nigga. I wasn't even born in the Matrix, nigga. I grew up on these niggas, nigga. I just like boy head ho. What you see, D? What you see, D? Nigga, boy head ho. I grew up on this shit. So my whole world was shaped to, wait a minute, nigga, huh, nigga? I might have got fooled once or twice, nigga, but it didn't take me more than that to figure out what the fuck the game was. So I understood early on based on these niggas' principles, and now you come out because realistically, it's a social media presence. Y'all still trying to get the bag later on. I understand it's a different climate, but you niggas have switched up from what your original mindset mentality was. While people like Pimp C, we know that nigga died. That nigga, I can honestly say I feel like, and we don't know for sure. I feel like Pimp C, the reason that nigga is dead, because that motherfucker was a relic dinosaur that wasn't gonna change.
Wasn't at all. And then you put him behind bars, and he got smarter. You put him behind bars, and you thought he was gonna come out, and he came out totally different because he did something that most of our brothers don't do. That they talked about on Roger's show. The brother went to reading. One of his first books was "Behold the Pale Horse" by William Cooper. He
Hmm.
recognized what's really going on in the world. Guess what? He had to go. He had to be eliminated. He was another. He it was just a. And then they said rumors had it that him and Pac were good friends. Him and Pac were good friends, and they couldn't have that. And a thing that even Bun B said that Pac, oh boy, wasn't too fond of Jay Z, man. He wasn't that fond of Jay Z at all.
No,
He was
he had a little bit of an issue with Jay Z off tops, but it was there was some other shit because I was a big fan of Pimp C. So back in the day I was heavily into hip hop. That's why this album excited me because I'm a big fan of hip hop
right.
and the beef circuit, right? So I feel like listening to Tory. So the thing that turned me on really to Tory Lanez is I had heard a couple of his tracks and I felt like they was bangers, right? He had a song probably in 2010, 2009, 2011, somewhere around that circle, that area of time. He did Kelly Rowland's Motivation, right? And he
Mhm.
remixed it. And I was like, oh, this nigga's really doing some shit. He's from where? He's from Toronto. He's from Canada. I'm like, oh, okay, this nigga's really out here putting it down. He can rap. He's doing some shit. And it really, it was no bigger than some local mixtape type shit that somebody caught and brought out. So I'm like, okay, this nigga kind of doing it. Okay, cool. So I heard him here and there, but what really, really piqued my interest on Tory Lanez is he called out the entire Dreamville roster in order to get to J. Cole.
Uh-huh.
That takes balls, that takes guts, that takes a certain level of skill motherfuckers do not have. So essentially what he did was he called out what was considered at the time, what is considered at the time, one of the top 10 rappers and said, I'm better than you. And then got all the people in his circle that he felt like was hungry rappers to try and run him down. And he handled them piece by piece and ignored the ones who wasn't even sufficient. And it resulted in a battle between him and who's the dude who just did this Will Smith song? Uh, Let me see what his name
It wasn't
is.
J. Cole, but I know who you're talking about. I'm looking at him, but I don't know his name.
Right,
You
right,
talking about
right.
Joyner Lucas?
Joyner Lucas. And that Joyner Lucas versus him track was lit. And Joyner, I felt like Joyner had one track that was pretty good, but for the most part, Tory Lanez analyzed and dispatched him like an old ninja samurai. A ninja samurai. This nigga was combined with the two, nigga. He came out the shadows and hit this nigga with a sword in one flick.
Mm.
And that's what made me go, you know what, there's something to this nigga. So if you look at this album, he dissed Chance the Rapper, he dissed Bun B, he dissed two bras, which really inconsequential. I think three of them. JoJo, which is a white woman, Cash Doll, black woman, and Kaylani, who's a black woman.
Why
Uh,
did he? Why did he diss the white? Tell because go in. Why did he diss these people? Was there is something a common denominator or what?
so JoJo bought a oh yeah, J Will 28, much appreciated. Thank you, brother. JoJo, basically we talked about it earlier. She was virtue signal. She had him on his track. This is
Okay, that's
probably her most listened to song. Apparently, according to his album, they paid $50,000 for his feature. And then her ass got up and was like, "Oh, I'm removing Tory Lanez from my album because of I Stand with Megan." And and Tory's response was like, "Bitch, you on some bozo shit. Like, this is what you doing? All right, cool. So let's make the rules to this, right? You want to remove my feature? Cool. Don't just remove the shit from your deluxe album because nobody's listening to that shit, bitch. Remove the shit from the original album because every time I go and look at your Spotify, I'm in your top five. So let's erase that shit altogether. So that way we take your shit up out of here." Uh, so he tore her the fuck up, right? Kaylani followed suit. He was supposed to be friends with Kaylani, so she took him off of her feature. He said between the two of them, he got them 40 million views. Imagine you're taking somebody off of your record, and that person in particular got you 40,000 views. You look like a fucking retard.
you look like an imbecile because that's money out of your pocket. This sounds like all of this shit was planned. Like how you gonna take money off your table? That's ridiculous right there.
Right. So
Really?
Jay Will talking about it. He said Kalani was supposed to be his homie and she snaked him. That bitch looked like a retard. But this is what I told you when I did the show before. The hoe sickness. Kaylani is the mixed chick who got caught with Party Next Door, and she was I'm gonna commit suicide. That's how these bitches play.
Shit, man, these motherfuckers, man, godly.
That's how these bitches play. So he wanted them to. Cash Dog, I'm not quite sure what this said because I really just wasn't focused on it. But his thing was like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Can anybody name can anybody name album she put out? No, I didn't think so. All right, well let's let's keep going. I don't know what the fuck. Can anybody name that? But that's what this nigga said. I don't know what the fuck the bitch saying. I here. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you exactly who she is, and I don't even know who the fuck she is. She's a black chick who is probably light skinned with a 2 to 5 $20,000 hair unit on her head with a fat ass and possibly fat titties that she bought from the doctor, who raps about tricking niggas and somebody's putting their mouth on her pussy.
Sounds like the
Wow.
usual.
So I don't know who the broad is. I guarantee you that's what she's confused. Confused. I think it's an Asian doll. I don't know. The bitch is a doll. They all try to either be white or Asian, one or the other, but the bitch is confused. Uh and she's interchangeable. So he was like, I don't know who the fuck you are. This is your music. The next person he got to was J.R. Ryder. J.R. Ryder said some slick shit. He pretty much destroyed J.R. Ryder. He said, J.R. Ryder, listen, um, you worried about the shots, nigga. You should be worried about the shots that your album is doing. And you're projecting. You over here failing, nigga. You out here buying bitches 80-inch weaves and you ain't even stick an inch up in the bitch.
Oh,
And you know what? That's a tough one. That's a tough one because you saying you really tricked all this money on this broad and you didn't get the fuck. Ooh, that like ooh, nigga, that really cuts. Nigga, that cuts really deep because you look real fucking stupid. So then he runs from them to Bun B. We covered Bun B. He speaks on Chance the Rapper. He was like, "Listen, Chance the Rapper," and I feel like this was the hardest one. He was like, too easy." Let me talk
Wow.
about how my chain glisten. I'm gonna replace that line with "Let me talk about how my chain shine." That I think
yeah.
that was what the
And
what the
Chance
bar
the
was.
Rapper deserves it, whether Roger thinks so or not.
Wow, Roger like
Whoa,
Chance the
whoa, whoa,
Rapper.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I didn't say Chance don't deserve it. I just hate to see Chicago guys get tore up in these streets. That's all. I ain't say the man don't deserve it.
I was like, God damn, this thing is really cutting people up. But you gotta understand, he hit four people at one. Well, not four. It's probably more than that. But I didn't even count it. But he did multiple people at once in this one record, and he got to respond. Not to mention that you brought it up earlier. What was going on with Rick Ross? I seen it. I just want to hear from another person's perspective on how he saw it.
Rick Ross just he's acting like I didn't hear it. I just saw the title and it's like he went in on Tory Lane. It's like, wow, man, all these dudes, but again, all these are industries dudes. Who are they answering to? Is somebody pulling their chain and saying, "This is what we want you to do. We want you to do this." So this dude is a renegade out here by himself now. And I'm telling you, man, Toronto, different breed, different breed of people. We're talking about a mixture of descendants of humble people who learn how to kill. Toronto, don't sleep on it, dude. There's a
I
lot of crazy things going on in Toronto.
Yeah, I
I won't
never
go
sleep on
there.
this shit. Uh,
I never go there.
Jay
Ever.
Will, which song was the Jay Will is killing it. I didn't even notice this shit, and one
Yeah.
because I don't listen to Chance the Rapper, so he caught some shit I didn't catch. And one of his songs, he used Chance Flow the entire song. But this again, I want to
See,
know what song that was, bruh. You got to if you could drop it into the chat, I appreciate it. Shout out to Kev. Kev had to go. But keep it popping with black men being brutally honest again, one of our habitual line stepper brothers. But nigga, the I okay. So Radio Raheem, Roger Report, bruh. Listen, when you tell me the level of disrespect that it is that a nigga takes your flow, and then raps it while saying some shit that he knows you're against to disrespect you. You tell me what that means because I
nigga, that you need a whole song to combat that. You. I mean, yeah, bro. That's a whole heap of helping disrespect right there. Like I got to get you on that one. I couldn't just let that one. I can't let this battle go down with that's the last song that happened. No, I couldn't. I had to come at you, bro. Real talk. That's a whole lot of disrespect right there. You know. Yeah, you don't sound like me while you dissing me. No, no,
shit.
no.
He did that when he was battling Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas, he has like a specific flow, and it's just a real specific flow. And this nigga did Joyner Lucas's
Go.
flow
Yeah,
for like 8 bars while dissing the nigga. And I was like, oh shit. All right, well, it's done. It's like,
and that's plain disrespect. See, the one thing about rap, you know what I'm saying? It's different styles people can use, but everybody has a unique signature flow. And if you know how to catch stuff a certain time, if you listen to a particular person enough, like whether you rap or sing, they put stuff together a certain way, and you can actually tell sometimes when some artist wrote somebody else's stuff. You can actually tell sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, everybody know R. Kelly wrote a lot of songs for a lot of people, right? It was songs people had no idea that R. Kelly wrote for people, but I knew it because I've heard so much of him that I knew it when I heard it in other
yeah,
places. And there's
it, it
I was gonna
it's
say there's
shit that
certain
you hear.
ghostwriters.
that
Well,
you instantly go, oh, that nigga did that. Yep, I hear that. I hear that immediately.
yeah, and there's people who do ghost writing for rappers and stuff like that. Now, a person can write in the way that you actually do your own material, but a lot of times people will write something for a person, but they don't write it like that person. They write it like they write it, and then you just hear another person saying it. So it don't sound quite the way they normally. It kind of they try to they're gonna fit it to themselves as much as possible. But sometimes you can tell that or you might look at it like, that's a little unusual for him. But a lot of times, because somebody else wrote it, that's why it's unusual for them. So when you start using people flows against them, to me, that's like those are ultimate levels of disrespect. That's just the way I would see it. It's one thing to come at me in your own style, but you don't come at me in my style. No, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
Your
So
flow is almost like a fingerprint.
I low key feel like shout out to J Will 28. That nigga right there, that nigga right there. Hold on, I
He put it up. Oh, okay. You gotta make me
oh
get off
I'm making
this.
that nigga a moderator just off the strength of that shit, nigga. Oh hell nah,
You know
nigga.
what? You know what that feels
So
like to me. Just hearing that, it feels like how you could be in a room with a dude and y'all get into it or whatever the case is. But instead of the nigga just trying to knock you out, the nigga just slap you and walk away like you ain't gonna do nothing. That's what that feel like to me.
that's exactly what that shit is, bruh. Let me tell you. So Queen and Slim was the next track that we were supposed to basically take and run with because the whole album is he's talking about this relationship in various points. But these three tracks I feel like are the highlights of the album where he's talking about some shit. Queen and Slim. So what what the conversation is this nigga has copied Chance the Rapper's flow. So if you remember in the last track, he was like too easy. Too
Okay.
easy, nigga. I replaced that line with mm, my
Oh,
chain shot.
okay. I'm about to mute myself. I'm gonna go listen to the song. I'm going to listen to the song. I'll be right back.
Yeah, a lot of disrespect going on, bro. Like this, he
That
got real disrespectful real quick. That's you know, um, when you battling a person, what I'm saying, even if it's a signed artist, you throw a diss track here, a diss track there. A diss track supposed to be like about one guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's the shit I'm talking about, bro.
Right. You don't
That's
you
the
don't
shit
go
I'm talking about.
just diss people and multiple people where you dissing three, four, and five people in the same song. Not even like the song itself. You dissing them. You know what I'm saying? You using a few bars to get like three, four people. Like that's just wrong. You know what I'm saying?
But but, but
Well, can't
understand.
say bars, but um, to get multiple people in the same verse is kind of disrespectful in itself.
Yeah, he hit multiple people without a I don't with a real I don't give a fuck attitude. And then just to address the Rick Ross thing, right? So I've only seen this clip. It could be more, it could be a lot more. But the one clip I seen was Rick Ross basically was on some disrespectful shit. It seems like the tweet was removed, but he had a picture of Tory Lanez making him look short. Uh, and he was like, "Yeah, we got a new car for Tory Lanez to celebrate. You and your album turning." He said some slick shit like I don't know if it was aluminum or tinfoil or some erroneous bullshit
Kind
ass
of Power
metal.
Wheels or something.
It was that little. It was like the little two door mini car, the little smart car that was on them it was on some you being funny shit. And I seen it because I logged in. This was about 30 minutes before I got to where I was at. I logged into Twitter and Tory Lanez was like, "Oh, you got jokes. You over here talking crazy." But in reality, when this whole Breonna Taylor thing was popping off, I'm marching through your city and I didn't see the boss round.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
called he called that nigga out on some real shit. So going back to the history of beef with Rick Ross is a great rapper. Uh, Rick Ross is a storyteller. He's an orator. Uh, he did a diss track on 50 Cent. It was okay. He did a diss track on Birdman. I would say the diss track he did on Birdman was a top 20. But he's not no battle rapper. He's not no motherfucker who could really come at you bar for bar. I don't feel like, even though I feel like Rick Ross is the bigger rapper, I don't feel like Rick Ross could handle a Tory Lanez.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna give Rick Ross credit for surviving 50. The fact that he survived 50,
Shit.
I give him credit for that. Uh, I don't know if he can go bar for bar with Tory. I wouldn't feel comfortable enough to put no money on it. That's for sure. Um, Cause Tory, he get vicious now. He get vicious with some of his stuff. You know, he may not get the attention of certain people, but the man is on his, and look like he on fire right now. I can't wait to really like hear the rest of this album, cause it look like he on
Yeah.
fire right now. You
Well,
know.
Jay Will said it. That nigga staying his leg, especially after he lost the Reebok there. And which is funny is because Tory added him on Twitter, and in the comments when I was going through to see the responses, first thing a nigga put up was, "I put Molly all in her drink. She ain't even know." Niggas is petty. They don't forget shit. So that's just shit to talk. That talk get back in your ass eventually. It come back and blow. It's like pissing in the wind. It blows back on you. But to see Queen and Slim, if that so this nigga was doing a Chance the Rapper rhyme, rhythm and flow throughout this whole little ballad, nigga, that's funny because remember this is the one where he was telling the story of how he was kicking with Kylie Jenner, and this motherfucker got out the pool and he stops the music to have what sounded like a black woman in the background talking about, "Oh, this nigga tripping." I mean, what did you think of the track? Shit.
Man, I mean, it got me ready. I'm ready to listen to the whole album, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, what I heard tonight was the man on point. Real talk. The only way to really have a problem with this man's music right now is if you buy into a story that has yet to be confirmed. And I'm not going to convict this man. You know what I'm saying? It's too many lies that's told about black men, especially successful black men. I ain't saying he didn't do it, but I'm not going to say he did. The pieces of the story ain't adding up together. The man album looks like it's fire based off the stuff I heard. So I can't wait to hear the rest of it because as soon as I move around, that's what I'm on. See what I'm saying? So everything was tight. Uh, he man, like I said, bro, he either on something genius right now, or he's a damn fool. But I think he's leaning more toward genius.
Yeah, that shit. I'm telling you, that nigga, he was cracking them. Yeah, but he even took shots at Jay-Z. That was the shit that really killed me.
Okay, I'm back, and
Yeah.
I heard you, Roger, and I have a 10 on. He's a damn genius.
Break it down why you think he was a
Jay
genius.
Will, you need to make him a moderator. When you make an old man go listen to some hip hop to get a storyline, oh yeah, he was really he was throwing it down like a ballad, and then he broke off and started sneaking in that truth. I'm like, whoa, oh, this
all
story.
what all what telling it, baby, you can come back. Listen, just
Yeah.
don't listen to them niggas. Just come on back.
And bro, it's so solid and so tight. I have no doubt the rest of the album is gonna be fire. Like you can't do 3 tracks like that and then your album be garbage. It's not gonna happen.
Where did Kev go, man?
Kev had to run. So
Okay,
imagine you've heard this snippet of the album. The rest of the album is fire to the motherfucker. It's like one track I don't like, just because I don't like the audio beat. But even the lyrics is fire to that song. I just don't like the beat. But imagine I've typed the Daystar album out into the Google algorithm to see what the critics are talking, and motherfuckers hate this album.
Well, I mean, they probably hate him because Tory drunk him.
Situ-
That's all it is.
Yeah,
You know.
Because of the situation. That's probably why they hate the young brother, because of the
Yeah,
situation.
that's all it
all
is.
I've
Because the
seen
music
is
is
he's
fine.
making money off of this situation. Fuck you. Y'all are making money off of him making money off the situation.
What?
So
What?
Yep.
Well, let me throw this in here. Just to be on something realistic. Let's say he did everything he's been accused of doing, and let's say he gonna end up going down. Nigga, you better get your money. Get your money while you can. That makes
Yep.
sense.
Put it in a trust
You know.
fund and go do your little time. But they ain't gonna put him in. Ain't nothing. Ain't. I mean, why? Why would they put him in when he didn't do nothing wrong and something not right? Something just not right.
he's
I
not
don't think he's
doing
finna
that.
get locked up at all. I really don't think he's finna get locked up at all
Nah.
because the lack of clarity on this story sticks out to me. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why there's such a lack of clarity of what actually happened.
Mm-hmm. It is. He's a genius, man. I give him. I have to give him the credit. Like I think they fuck with the wrong person. I like you think he's a rapper. You gave him a storyline. I shouldn't have fuck with that dude, as they say back in the hood. I'm not good at saying it, but I can say it. Y'all shouldn't have fuck with that nigga, man. Never
Yeah,
ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Nigga. Y'all mess with the wrong one.
yeah.
Wrong one. You know. Who is he signed? Who is he signed with, Rod? Or is he an
Nah,
independent?
So
I'm not
that
sure at
so that
all.
that nigga is in one of his albums. All right, actually listen to this album. This nigga is proudly talking about. He like, listen, look how they did Michael Jackson when he got his when he got his rights back, right? He was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we got that nigga. Look how they did Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
I get my shit back. Look how they did me. I'm just
Yep.
saying, nigga. That's
Yeah. That's
and that's what the nigga said in his bars.
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Well,
that's
you
real talk.
see, that's why they hating on Kanye West now, because Kanye West, like, I'm sick of this shit. Y'all listen, get your masters. So he gave out the future information for the people who are gonna come into that industry. He say, don't give up your masters. You're a master of your own destiny. Don't let them control you. So, and they don't like that. Some about us being successful, Raj, my man, they don't like that shit. But if I suggest to put on the dress, oh, you will accept that. Fuck you and that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's not working. So they fuck with the wrong brother. The brother say, I'm gonna go down, grabbing my balls. Sorry, not cutting them off, not cutting them off. So, and I'm gonna take anybody fuck with me. You're free. Let's get in this ring, and I'm gonna go at you in the studio. Because you're right. He did go at Jay-Z. I mean, when you go at, let's just say they're legends. I'm not going to say they're legends, but let's just say they're legends. People who made this road for you. And you going at them, yeah, you got to have some balls, man. You got to have some
You
balls.
know what? He got some balls because of just the timing alone of when he dropped his album. This is balls, plain and simple. This is what R. Kelly pulled once he got past that other court case he got past. Then he
Oh,
like dropped an album right away. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
That I mean, yeah, it took off because I know it went platinum and all that. But this is almost like the same thing because this
What
case
was
ain't
that
even
album? That
had.
was
It,
trapped in the closet.
no,
hey, hey,
I mean,
Then
I
it
think
was
that was
trapped in the closet, nigga.
hey, I
It,
got to laugh because
nah, bro.
it was Chocolate Factory, right? And in Chocolate
Yeah, I
Factory,
remember.
Trapped in
Yeah,
the
I think it
Closet
was the
was
Chocolate
there,
Factory he dropped.
and Chocolate Factory was lit. So we're not gonna play like Chocolate Factory wasn't lit. But out of that, the star player of that album was, I think, the 4 to 7 tracks he had of Trapped in the Closet, right?
No, that's a different album.
No, I'm trapped in. I think Trapped in the Closet was part.
Closet was
That was his.
on Chocolate Factory.
I thought Trapped in Chocolate Factory had a couple parts of Trapped in the Closet because he was playing around, and then once he figured out niggas like that shit, he took it and ran.
I tell
Okay,
you
yeah, I
what,
don't remember that being on that album, bro. That was
hey,
I could be wrong. I could completely be wrong.
hey, Raj,
mhm.
I'm just hoping to get out of this, because if they put that keyboard back in front of them, oh shit, Oh, she
You
look.
had me locked up.
Oh shit. He
Talking
go.
about
Nah,
these babies.
well, I
Oh,
put it like this. I think Tory Lanez look like he might be fine, but R. Kelly, I don't know about him, bro. I don't know if
oh
there's
yeah.
enough help in the world for him.
You know what? You know he's gonna get out because of the fact is he got jammed up in that shit, and we know he did some crazy shit. But what's behind him? What's going on now? Is that one day one of you guys? I want to see which one of you guys going talk about it, and you're gonna talk about it. It's about the missing children. It's about going on with these Hollywood stars. Yeah, what compared to what he did and compared to what they doing, as the government said, they can only give us 25% of the truth because they know the people of this world cannot handle what these people were doing
Oh yeah,
behind
no.
closed
What?
doors,
Yeah,
man.
that shit's gonna blow people's heads off
Man,
because
listen,
that implicates normal people, that implicates
yes,
celebrities, stars,
yes.
an entire circle, and they probably even got some people who didn't really quite want to be in that situation, but they got fucked up and got drug into it, and there's nothing they can do. That's
I,
gonna blow a lot of minds on multiple levels.
It's
hey,
not
hey,
gonna come out. It's not gonna come
yes, it
out.
is. You
I'm
don't
gonna tell
think?
you.
Yes,
I'm
it
gonna tell you
is.
why. I'm gonna tell you
Why?
why.
Why?
They gonna keep sacrificing niggas like R. Kelly.
hmm And,
they
and
gonna
and
they gonna
and
keep enough niggas sacrificed where
just
you gonna
for
stop looking for them.
qualification, just for quality control, should I say, TP3 is the album Trapped in the Closet started on.
Right.
TP3, huh? Okay.
But Chocolate Factory is the one he dropped around that court case time, I
Yeah,
believe.
Chocolate Factory was lit, and that's fucked up that we can even talk about that. But look, we're gonna call a spade a spade. Chocolate Factory was lit, and a couple of albums after that, that motherfucker was lit. And the only reason I knew about all these albums because grown women was putting me onto this shit. So listen, I was a child at the time. I don't, nigga. Hey, listen, grown women put me on R. Kelly.
Tell you, man.
You shit me.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Them old women love R. Kelly. I just know you got to be a bad sob to make a song about a Jeep and it's hot. Like, wait, you made a song
You
about a
remind
Jeep.
me of my G, nigga. What?
Yeah,
Like,
Can,
yeah,
can you
we get that.
can you imagine talking to a woman? Hey, baby, what you drink? Are you drinking Long Island iced tea? Yeah, bartender, let me get two of these. You know what you remind me of? You remind me of my G.
Hey, you know what? You know, with all this versus stuff going around, there's a lot of niggas happy R. Kelly locked up because they don't want their name suggested to go against them.
what a world. What
Yeah,
a world. That's all I got to say. What a
I'm glad that
world,
nigga
man.
locked up. I don't know if I could do that one.
Hey,
But
I don't know, man. He ain't got nothing on Kevin Spacey, man. He ain't got nothing on these people, man. I'm serious, dude. He
yeah,
got
but I'm saying,
nothing.
but as long as you got a nigga like R. Kelly, Kevin Spacey gonna be all right. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he's worse. Actors Kevin Spacey was worse than him, man.
Kevin
Oh, I'm
Spacey.
not saying he wasn't worse. I'm just saying they'll always have some niggas to take the heat off a person like a Kevin Spacey. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the media definitely did concentrate on R. Kelly, didn't they? They
Yeah.
did. You ain't heard
They swept him, Harvey Weinstein. They swept everybody under the rug. When
like
Yeah.
this.
I
I
remember
because I
Kevin
was
getting in
shocked for
trouble.
the longest time that I was like I was shocked for the longest time that they actually did something against Harvey Weinstein because the focus was never on that motherfucker.
Never.
No, they had to
Never.
take somebody down. They had to take somebody down because they already crushed a few people, but they never did crush anybody legally. You know what I'm saying? People was losing jobs and whatnot, but they never legally got nobody. So they had to do one at least one white person had to go down. But
So
you know what I'm saying? But
long
the thing
term,
is, okay, we'll let one white person lose at something criminal, but we're gonna keep throwing these niggas in y'all face and y'all ain't gonna worry about us white folks like that. And that's what they
And,
doing.
and that's what they doing. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, that's what they doing. They doing it. And the sheeples will follow. That's why it's so easy for them to lead the sisters against us. And they are totally against us. That feminism shit, that female shit really worked,
yeah,
man.
that shit is crazy.
Really
Yeah.
worked, man.
So
And real
with this
talk,
situation, right?
and
So with this situation, I was just curious. Not I was gonna say long term, but realistically, in the immediate future, what do you see the repercussions of this album being? What do you see the general public saying about this album, uh, black women in particular, uh, Tory Lanez, where you see his career going because of this, and the people he dissed, as well as Megan. What do you expect the fallout from this album will be? Because this is day one.
I don't think it's gonna be no fallout. Cause real talk, I don't think they got a case good enough or strong enough to really get at him on anything. I mean, the gun charge is like possession of a gun that he shouldn't have. I get that. They might get him on something like that. But anything that's against her, like an assault or something like that, anything suggesting something was against her, I don't think they got nothing for it. I really don't. Because we would probably have heard more information at this particular time. Because you got to pay attention to where we are. We in America. America love to make a nigga look bad. So if they really had what it took to make this nigga look bad, it would be out there some kind of way. So I don't think they got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's cool for men to beat up on women or shoot women in the foot or nothing like that. I'm just saying realistically, I don't think they got nothing to really crucify him of doing anything to her. They probably just got him on a gun possession charge, and that's about it.
Mm. And I agree. I have nothing else to say. I think he's gonna blow up. I think they didn't mess with the wrong sheriff. Got a new sheriff in town. I just think that they did him a favor. So he's gonna take a look. And I do hope he takes the Tupac approach and start telling the truth. Because all he did was tell a story and what really happened. And remember now, they lynched. It's like the old days. They lynched that dude without any evidence. Before we was even born, how many black men did they lynch on lies? On lies. And remember that Karen shit, that was the shit back in the days of Rosewood and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yeah, I said it for you white women that's listening. Yes, you all are Karens. Y'all destroyed worlds because of even your presence. Y'all destroyed worlds. Except now, sisters have picked up that baton, that feminism pill, and they love it. They got that insecurity of power. That's really powerless. It's just working with your emotions. Y'all fuck with the wrong dog, man, and that dog started barking. Yeah, he barked.
I'm telling you, I'll forever be a fan of this nigga when he checked Bun B. Nigga, I got an open case. The fuck you mean? What we talk about?
I'm just trying to be realistic. He's a famous black man. If you got what it takes to bury him, you be trying to bury him. I'm just keeping it real.
O.J. Simpson, for example, I can keep going on. Keep going.
Well,
Hell, Michael Jackson and the shit he went through.
Who was really big and famous as a black man that don't got to go through nothing like this? Only niggas who do enough where it don't cause no ruckus for them white folk. You know what I'm saying? And not all white people. I'm just talking about the white supremacist part. You know what I'm saying? If you don't cause no ruckus for them, they'll let you live. But sometimes even if you don't cause no ruckus, they're gonna slap a nigga with something. That's just the way it go.
And a prime example of this little bullshit is who? Terry Crews.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. Another brother they gonna take down, and he running a dude named Russell Simmons. Why you running, Russell? Why you running? Why you running? So they coming for you, dude. They coming for you, man.
Let me say this. I can't even blame Russell for running. I don't know if he really did anything, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Growing up in Chicago, I already know enough to know if the police start coming around, it's time for me to leave. I ain't got to do nothing wrong.
I ain't got nothing to talk about. I'll holler at y'all later.
Yeah, but I'm not even finna give you a chance to make the story up with me around. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so bad here. One of them jokingly, I get pulled over, right? You know what I'm saying? They about to arrest me. One of them jokingly said, you know what I'm saying? Look what we found in the back seat. The man holding the gun, right? You know what I'm saying? Now he a cop talking about look what we found in the back seat.
Hold up, wait a minute. You talking about he did this jokingly?
What?
This was a joke. The nigga pulled it out. It's a 9mm, I think. You know what I'm saying? It happened some years ago. I think it was a 9mm. He pulled it out and look what we got in the back seat. Talked to his partner, right? Now, I just shake my head like you niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all
Wait,
really pull this BS on me.
wait, time. I'm running down the sideline. Time out.
Yeah, this is the shit I'm talking about.
I
Get
want
them.
to time travel. Yeah, take me back. Just I want to look at what you're telling me. Go back to the beginning. I want to
Cause
hear
this
this
shit
story.
wild. Yeah,
Oh,
nigga,
it is
you
crazy.
got to a different level, nigga.
Yeah, was it your gun or was it a plant gun?
No, it was a joke.
Okay,
It was
let's
a
go.
joke.
Take me back to the
He
beginning.
pulled
What
me
you was
over.
doing? Let's go.
He pulled me
I
over.
listen. I understand that it was a joke, but
I
this
won't get
gun
it.
wasn't
I'm
imaginary. He wasn't
no,
holding his hand
no,
up like he got a
no.
gun. He
This is what
had
I'm
a
trying to tell
9 millimeter.
you.
Okay,
Let me, he pulled me over, right? Okay.
Wait. Two Caucasian cops or two black cops? Are we talking about Oreo cookie?
Two Caucasians, right?
Let's
They
go.
pulled they pulled me over, right?
was these
Okay.
like the neighborhood cops, nigga? I got
It was.
questions. Hold on. Did they have you interacted with these niggas before? God
No,
damn!
no, it's
All
just
right,
it's two cops, but there
all right.
was something wrong with the vehicle, so they had a reason to actually pull me over. I can't say they I ain't gonna say they wouldn't have pulled me over with nothing wrong, but they actually had a reason on that particular time, right? So I'm trying to be cool because I know I'm already wrong. You see what I'm saying? So if I know I'm in the wrong, I'm on some yes sir, no sir, because I'm trying to beat the ticket and all that type of stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna give you anything to really do something to me, right? But you know what I'm saying? I'm getting arrested anyway or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the dude say, look what we got in the back here, right? And he pull up this I believe it was a 9. He pull out the gun. Look what we got in the back over here. You know what I'm saying? Now he pull it up and he holding it to the other officer. So he cracking a joke by himself. The other officer's not in on it. You see what I'm saying? So I just dropped my head down like, oh man, I can't believe he finna pull this one off. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what time it is already. So once I dropped my head or whatever, and I turned away like, man, I can't believe this BS about to go down right now. Then he started cracking up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at him crazy, like he's like, no, man, I'm just playing with you. So what I'm trying to tell you is this so common in his world that he's playing about planting guns on
Mhm.
niggas. So do you think he ain't never
Oh,
planted a gun
no.
on somebody?
Oh,
Wow.
goodness.
Wow. Wow. Notice how I just shut up. That's when because I just went in your time zone. This shit really. How old were you,
Oh,
man?
goodness.
This I mean it happened in my 20s.
Wow.
Hard to say, but it happened in my 20s. Probably around
Wow.
23, 24.
Did you
So,
laugh or did you what was your reaction? Like you
what
mother.
was that funny to me, man? I just looked away like, oh, I can't believe this nigga finna pull this on. That's what
Shout
mood
out
I
to
was
Key
on.
Alexandria. She said he was lying. And love, you on the panel. I want to hear what a female perspective has to
Who,
say.
who was lying? Wait, who was lying? Tory Lane or Roger? That was
She
his
is
gun.
she
Oh,
is
she was
lying.
lying.
She
She
is
was lying.
lying. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Oh,
he talking about Megan. So hey love, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you guys?
Oh,
love the
wonderful,
voice. How
wonderful.
are you?
I'm doing
Yeah.
good. I'm doing good. I was listening to you guys and I was just like, nah. I mean, I agree with everything that y'all are saying. But from a woman's perspective, she's lying. She's absolutely lying. Like she is lying. Well, let me say this. I believe that there was some hurt and pain behind it. Because we do know that she was dealing with him. But word on the block is that he was dealing with her friend too and was trying to get with Kylie. And when all this happened, Kylie unfollowed. They stopped, you know what I'm saying, unfollowing each other. And that's what got my incentives up because if we're all about girl power and we just did a video called WAP, why are we not, you know what I'm saying, bigging everyone up? The only person that was really doing that was Cardi B, where she put
God
out a
damn,
whole
women be
list of
having the inside track like a motherfucker. Go ahead.
yeah. She was putting out on her Instagram thanking everybody that was in that video, including Kylie. And then next thing you know, Megan didn't do it. And then all of a sudden she want to play victim and say he shot her. The only reason why I feel as though she came out and said that was because he probably didn't pay her no money. I mean, let's just be honest, because I'm sorry, somebody shoot me, I'm the first one telling. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna. Everybody's talking about the
Why
video.
you telling? We
Because
supposed to
you
be
shot
fucking. Why you telling? You
I got,
maybe
no,
I got,
not
I got,
me. You
I
should
gotta
bust
say
me and snatch off my wig you pulled a gun and shot me deliberately.
Wait till
No, no. And then on top of that, she comes out and says he did it. But everybody knows, I work with all departments, okay? And one thing I do know is that when it comes to a gun charge, it is no longer in a civilian hands. It
Hold
automatically
on,
goes.
backtrack here, love. You work with all departments of what?
I work with DHS. I work with child support. I know the. So when a gun charge is brought into play, you have no control over that. It automatically becomes state picks it up.
And what
Nobody's
did I say
talking
earlier,
about
y'all?
that. Nobody's talking about her in the video getting back in the car with dude. Why would you get back in the car with a man that shot you and you did not say anything? Some ain't right, and I feel as though he did not pay her. And I'm glad a lot of women are upset that he did not, that he came out with a video. I'm glad he came out with a video. I'm absolutely glad.
That nigga came out with a 17-track album.
With an album.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He came out with an album. I'm glad he came out with an album. I wish he would have did like a sit-down tell-all. But, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Marketing, that's PR. And then y'all forgetting that she has one of the greatest PR machines behind her, Rock Nation. Like, he got to do something. Because Rock Nation, I seen somebody put in about Rihanna and the Chris Brown situation. Who was behind that? Jay-Z. Who behind her right now? Jay-Z. He gonna let his artist go down?
Well, look like Tory ain't about to give him a choice.
This is why I say Tory's a smart ass nigga. So we all learn from the August Alsina situation, right? August Alsina put out that album. That album did all right, but it could have done a lot more had he not went on Angela Lee and told that story. Had he went on his album and told the story, the entanglements and the sheep bullshit, and then put it out as an album, niggas would have lost their mind and played his shit, and he would have got paid from it. But he didn't. He went on Angela Yee. Niggas listened to the one track and was like, all right, yeah, it's all right. Well, good luck to you there. And then moved on. How many listens, how many spins do you think that Tory Lanez got on his album from niggas trying to figure out what the hell he said from the horse's mouth?
She's not a credible person anyway. Angela Yee, she's the one that told Stanton that baby has a choice in the womb to be either alternative lifestyle or be normal. And it's like, she really needs to meet a David Chappelle moment. What did the finger say? What did the hand say to the face? You know what I'm saying?
Well, my thing is regardless of her, whether she's wrong, right, stupid, or otherwise, right? If you go on her platform, that's her platform. You're making her money. If you have to come and get the story from my album, and every time you play my album, I get $1 from it, you're paying me from it. So, like I said prior, if you do something good, if you do something great, make a motherfucker buy it, pay for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, because if he would have just put the album out without saying anything, first of all, he got more respect from a lot of other brothers anyway. Cause it's like, you know what I'm saying, why you on this kiss and tell type stuff the way it's going down. Plus, if once niggas would have been trying to piece together who he was talking about, then if a nigga would have figured out it's Will Smith, then they got to tell another nigga, oh, he's talking about Will Smith, pay attention to this. And then every other nigga gonna get this story, and then it's gonna, even if the album had died down, it's gonna pick right back up, because now niggas gotta listen to the Will Smith part. Did y'all hear what this nigga say? Yeah, he would have came off way better had he said nothing. But when he went on Angela Lee, he made himself like a clown. And niggas don't really want to support a clown in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, to the young lady, I want to ask you, now I want to request for you to do something. When you come on this live stream, I need you to change your number, because we definitely need to ask you some very impertinent information about child support and all of that. And I don't need you to lose your job, because you gotta pay your bills. So I need you to come up this is the black female widow spider. I got some info for your ass, because
nigga said the widow spider.
So, because I want to know, because you say you work for them. In what state are you working for? Like Chicago, Illinois, California, where?
No, don't get your state
Okay,
out, love. How
don't get
about
that
this?
one up.
You,
Okay,
this
I
maybe
was,
maybe
yeah,
part of the country.
yeah,
but
I was gonna
yeah,
say now, if unless Donnie want to do like a child support stream, if you just want to talk and ask questions, why we could do that off the show off air. You know what I'm saying?
Because you know what, she's not the only one that does it. Because it's two other well shit uh Ninja Assassin. She also works with children and in that realm, and the other one is Bianca. So it's a couple women on my show. I don't know if I just attract that or that's just circumstances, but it's a couple women on the show who work with DHS or something in that realm. So we can have that whole show, and I would love for you to come on here, Key. But yeah, we don't want you to get too specific. I've told the other women on the
yeah.
show, don't get too specific because motherfuckers get mad at you,
Oh
and
shit.
then they call you supervisor and start telling. And even if you don't get fired, I don't want to create no waves for you.
Yeah, and I really, that's why I was trying to be inconspicuous about it, because I had a run in with the people in California, and even here in Canada, a district attorney said that he's a special person because I know who runs it, and I know that, and I told these people, we just say the West Coast, that one day y'all gonna fuck with the wrong person, and, and he coming, because you can't keep penalizing men for what's coming out of their system. How you gonna penalize my seed and give other power? But it ain't. It's all about them funds. You want to make sure that we don't build this empire. I know this is why all of this confusion is happening, and a lot of this shit started with a man named George Bush Sr. See, I can say that now because he's gone, man. Let's just put it to you like this: he didn't die. I'm just gonna put it to y'all like this. There's a lot of things going on, y'all. Again, Roger, a lot of these slaves can't handle it, but I ain't no slave. I left the plantation. I left the plantation with Harriet Tubman's brother. Like, I'm out of this. Mental, any way you call it, I'm gone. And I've been a rebel. I've been a Shaka Zulu ever since. I'm serious. So,
Watch out, we got Gerald Tubman up there.
All right, so I'm happy I got Key on here. So I got some questions for you, love. So listen, I said this earlier. If Megan Thee Stallion actually went to the hospital, and they say that she went to the hospital and she had stitches and they had to pull bullet fragments out of her body or her feet per se, both feet. Anytime I've ever heard somebody who's been shot at, anything involving a gun, the police are called, and you just confirmed that. So what were you saying in regards to that?
I am saying that anytime, I don't know if you guys have ever been like seen a shootout or the aftermath of it, it
Right, been
automatically
there.
gets picked up by, right. It automatically gets picked up by state. That is no longer in your hands. It's not like a domestic violence situation where a woman can lie and say, oh no, he didn't hit me. You know what I'm saying? And they just walk away, or they just take statements and they decide to prosecute him if this is the case moving forward. It automatically becomes it's taken over by the attorney, by the district
A-
attorney. So,
And this is pretty
and
much
you're
across the
absolutely
board,
correct.
right?
Exactly. And then when she was not in the, in the emergency room. She was in urgent care. Urgent care is a walk-in clinic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Urgent care, you can get x-rays.
So this
It's
shit
very,
next to Walgreens.
oh no.
and if you look, no, honestly, and if you look, I see, I peep some shows. And one thing that I do know about the Kardashian clan, and Kris Jenner confirmed this, is that they all have their own private doctor. You know what I'm saying? Which most
Uh-huh.
to do people do. You know what I'm saying? Have. So I'm sure that it wasn't nothing for one of them or somebody to call up one of their doctors and say, "Yo, meet us in urgent care." Because when it, you know what I'm saying, and if it was just something in her foot that can be handled right there, and she gets stitched up, um, it does not require an ER visit, and they probably tried to keep it hush hush. if the cameras weren't there with that video that we've seen, the question is, will we even be talking about this?
Mm.
Yeah, and I mean,
So
she bringing up some good points, and I'm just gonna say, y'all remember I had a nail in the foot when I was a kid, and that nail in the foot gave me trouble. So I don't know how you get shot in the foot and you just out and about kicking it. I just they never figured that part out because that nail
again,
bothered me.
this is the LAPD.
I
This
can.
is not the Wyoming PD. This is not
Right.
the Tuscaloosa PD. This is not the middle of nowhere PD. This is the LAPD. You tell the LAPD that you got hit with some broken glass, and they look at your foot and go, all right, that's feasible. These motherfuckers have seen plenty of gunshot wounds and people shot the fuck up, guns in buildings, guns, bullets, all kind of shenanigans. And they looked at your feet, and this is not one or two officers; it was multiple officers that seen. They seen your shit and was like, all right, that's feasible. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a
Yeah.
problem.
That's what I'm saying. I don't believe. I believe it's something. I believe everybody's saying it's something deeper, much deeper. I believe it's something so simple as just it was women being petty. I'm gonna just keep it honest. I believe that it was cattiness. I believe it was secret. I believe that it was some jealousy there with Tory. I mean, come on now. I mean, people can talk about Kylie and everything else, but I mean, whatever work she had, she looked good. You know what I'm saying? And then
Wait,
she's
The
worth what
wait,
she's
wait,
worth.
wait,
the
Why you
wait.
gonna try to
man,
throw that?
Who looks good? Kylie Jenner, you saying?
yeah,
That's
the
not, yeah.
motherfuckers paid for it. That body is paid for. She better look good.
I have a question. I just have a question. Are we talking with makeup on or makeup off? I just need that answer.
I'm pretty sure she was dolled up that night. But I mean,
Oh,
think about it. If you're Tory Lanez and you have Megan Thee Stallion, she's looked at as a sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes like her. And then
hmm
you also have her best friend is also a pretty girl. You know what I'm saying? And then to turn around,
and rich. Let's add and filthy rich.
Nah, nah,
right?
nah, nah. Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there. Megan Thee Stallion is getting money now, but this motherfucker, we all heard about her contract where she was sitting out in front of Fat Burger or whatever the fuck she was with a hoodie on. Cause the nigga was like, I only got $15,000 with all my music. So I think the only rich one out amongst them was Kylie.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I said.
Okay,
Kylie Jenner.
okay,
That's what
yeah,
I didn't mean Megan say. I mean Kylie.
okay, yeah,
She's filthy rich.
But if you
Filthy.
yeah.
But if you're Tory Lanez and you're sleeping with two women who don't die, word on the street is they didn't know that he was messing around with both of them, and then so you have no loyalty. You're not tied down to neither one of them, and then you go to this woman's house. All of y'all go to this woman's house, and I'm sure she came out to the pool in something. You know what I'm saying? Something revealing, whatever the case may be. He was probably like, oh yeah, I want her too. You know what I'm saying?
But
He's not married. He's not in a relationship with neither one of these women.
He
Who's
can do him.
not going
He
to?
can,
hey,
he can do
so
him.
so
In other words, he can do him. Gotcha.
you didn't listen to the
Exactly.
album, right?
I listened to a couple of songs. I got the gist. I felt like he dragged her from track 1 to track, I think it's 17. From track 1 to 17.
He dragged her from one to done, right? But and it was cold. What was really cold about it, he was like, you can come on. You can tell the truth. But yeah, just let them other niggas go. Who gonna fuck you like I'm gonna fuck you? Plus the niggas ain't got money like I got money. Like that nigga was cold with it. But but based on what the track says, is yeah, he was drunk as fuck in the pool. Kylie got in. The nigga said she looked heavenly. Like, what have you ever heard a motherfucker describe a woman looking heavenly in a diss record? Like, nigga.
Not to mention, let's just be honest. Once you drink the spirits have your eyes looking a whole nother way too. Women look good to you when you drunk.
Well, this my whole thing with the Kardashians in general is they know. First off, the Kardashians are famous because the elder sister sucks some dick. Right? Let's just be honest, dog. She sucks some dick. She had a big ass. She sucks some dick. So that blew up into everybody across the line getting facial, body, XYZ surgery. So they're all plastic. And then if you look at their track record with men, with the exception of Bruce Jenner, all of the men have gone to make a lot of money. And I don't know if it's Chris Jenner or the pussy is cursed to be in some fortunate, famous shit, with the except, well, you know what? Tiger didn't make it. Tiger didn't make it. Uh, but everybody else got some money. Travis Scott got a, this nigga got a McDonald's meal. How the, do you know a song that Travis Scott put out other than the Night Show? Because I don't know a song.
Mm-mm.
How did you get a McDonald's meal? Right? So I feel like Tory saw this and was with it. And but according to the song, Megan left and was on some oh this nigga ain't shit type vibe situation. And then he caught up with her after the fact. And then the shenanigans happened. I don't think at where we're at now, where I'm at now, is I don't think that she was shot in the foot. I feel like that was some glass or some kind of other situation that cut her feet. But they're trying to pin it on Tory, and I think it's some shenanigans. And you can't get mad that you brought your drunk, not even side nigga over, not even quarter nigga over. You brought a drunk nigga over who you know makes songs about fucking multiple women over to Kylie Jenner's house, and he's drunk. And this broad is designed to catch a man. What are you supposed to be mad at? You did that shit to yourself.
He only human, man. He only human. That's what men do. I mean, you can't get mad at us because we're attracted to women. That's the
Oh
dumbest thing.
hell.
But they play us on that
Oh
shit. Though,
hell.
John.
The nigga the monster that showed up, nigga.
Ooh, well,
The monster that showed up, nigga.
you gonna make me look, okay? Who didn't showed up? Who didn't show
Edward
up?
Anderson, nigga, what's popping?
They
Uh-oh.
call him Hurricane
Uh-oh.
Edward. That's what they call
What
him.
up, Edward? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I mean, yeah, what's up, everybody? I don't know where y'all got this damn Jaws music playing the way y'all talking.
We playing, man. We playing.
I seen Edward. All I heard was
even know half these motherfuckers. I stopped listening to rap music after 2012, so I barely know who Drake is.
Alright, so basically Tory Lanez is another
No, I know a
Toronto
little
nigga.
bit. Go ahead, yeah, enlighten me.
And he was fucking with Megan Thee Stallion. So I know you know you're briefed on the Megan Thee Stallion
Yeah, the
situation.
bitch that likes to fight when she's upset, you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Tory came out with his album today, right? It's called Daystar, from track 1 to track
Oh yeah, and they upset
17.
that he like denied it. So no, I heard kind of what you all was saying as far as
Right.
going through actually what he was saying in the lyrics. So what's up, everybody? By the way,
Yeah, what's up, man?
So even Key Alexandria came on here. She was like, "Bitch, lying."
She was straight up judge. She lied. She lied.
I mean, personally, I don't know. I mean, I don't know now because this is why a lot of people in the manosphere or a lot of people in general kind of wash their hands of both of them. You have people that are kind of like fans, you know, they're gonna always default to the woman because that's just where the programming is right now. But for the most part, everybody was like, at the end of the day, you with her, if you would have look, and this is as a dude that is short. So if you let a dude just go shoot your ass, you know, then you kind of know he got that in him, you know. So especially if you're willing to fight a nigga that's willing to pull a strap out on you, you know. But I don't know, man, because if she the only it's not that I disagree with that, but if she's lying, you know how goofy that makes her ass look for her to come out that she lied like that.
That don't mean shit to women, and you know that. So, but
Right.
I'm
She
gonna
thinking in
have
the moment.
Key.
Well, I feel
So
like she's being managed too, as to what she
yeah.
says.
So because I said this earlier, but Key came in, and this is kind of her area of expertise. So Key, again, if you could explain, if you were working with somebody and they said they got shot, what would be the protocol there?
You would go to the police. Period. You would go to the police. Nobody is talking about how she got back in the car. Nobody is talking about how she didn't say anything. It took her weeks to put out whatever she put out, that little video on Instagram, and then confirmed it finally. And it just so happened that she did that around the time when that WAP song came out, which kind of overshadowed thing. And I feel as though, again, like I keep saying, what if she would never put that video out and she would have just kept with that WAP song and it would have been swept underneath the rug. I really feel that way. I think that she's really hurting herself in this time. And if I was her PR person, her marketing person, I would tell her to shut up. Shut up. Ain't nothing else for you to say. Be quiet. Matter of fact, who else is another person? The next big person that she could work with right now is Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody to overshadow this one and don't say anything. She done already got Time magazine, which that's questionable. I don't know how she did that. I have no
saying. You see, she's on Time. Really?
So make sure you duck after you say that. She will take a swing. But no, but you know.
The thing is, there's a lot of women that feels the way that I do. Don't let some of these comments fool you. There's a lot of us that say, you know what I'm saying, like we're real, like it's real women out here that's really getting that work put in. You know what I'm saying? With domestic violence, that's having to move away, move their whole life and everything, change their names, and it's like, okay, what are you trying to do? You trying to set us back? Like, what is y'all motive, y'all end game here? And if I was her PR, I would tell her to shut up. There's nothing else for you to say. Put out another record, a hit record, and do what you gonna do. There's nothing else to talk about.
Put out a record and shut the fuck up.
Yes, because she did not press charges. I don't know not one woman that would get out of a car almost butt naked, the cameras on her from a helicopter. You see the blood on the pavement. I believe she was shot. I don't believe that he intentionally meant to shoot her. I believe that she was beat because she's taller. So I believe that she was giving it to him. Maybe he pulled out a gun, something happened. I don't know what happened. But I do believe that she was shot. I don't believe that he intentionally meant to shoot her. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, okay, a gun went off. Then you get out, we see the blood on the road, and then all you do is you go to the urgent care. Out of all the hospitals in California, you go to an urgent care, get the bullets removed, and then weeks later you put out a statement. Not to mention you still got back in the car with dude that same night. I don't know, not one.
Well, I can tell you, you see that though. Like the thing with a lot of, and this is an urban thing. This isn't so much even racial, but this is kind of like an urban versus suburban thing. Is this idea, this back and forth, like the people, this mental dance. It was the same thing even with Jacob's Swift, the dude that got shot by the police in his back. Like when his baby moms called the police on him, she started as soon as the cops called her back, or the dispatcher, she stopped cooperating immediately because she, in her mind, and I'm talking about like in the emotions of the situation, felt like, oh man, I fucked up. This is somebody I fuck with, you know. So then she stopped cooperating, and then they didn't really have a good assessment of what the situation was. But at that point, the cat's already in the bag. And I understand emotions are going to do what emotions going to do. And the system's kind of set up for that way. But you see that a lot of times with this like back and forth, that the mental gymnastics back and forth that people go through. And then when you add in the hip hop politics of it, but that's where you talk about being somebody's publicist too, because like Megan Thee Stallion's like in a situation where she could be kind of like not so much the anti Cardi B as far as like she's different than Cardi B, but like from a type of sector that she can kind of draw from, you know, as well, you know, clearly corporations are looking at her a certain type of way where there's marketability with this one, and they're not gonna just focus their apples on one person. That's one of the things I think they regret with Nicki Minaj. And I'm not talking about just one corporation. I'm just talking about all the people that has to do with endorsing and kind of building people up, especially if y'all talk about fucking Time magazine. Because I'm like, what, Time magazine? Yeah, but man. Then again, Cardi B just got interviewed by Joe Biden. So is that really like in Time, you know, so is that really that big of a deal? But so but you're right. As a publicist, it's like you got this opportunity to really shoot to the moon, and it's like you want your feelings satiated for what? For a nigga you might still fuck with because that's who the fuck you are. So because you gotta think, and that's another thing. And that's another thing you gotta understand. When you a chick like Megan is not. I know people try to joke that she a man, but if you look at the video of what she looked like before, like all the fame and stuff, she's not an ugly chick. I mean, so a chick like that,
she's the around the way girl. That's that.
yeah.
LL
And
Cool J had the
and
song
you
back in
get
the
with,
day, around the way
and
girl.
clearly she saw something in Tory if she got with a dude that's shorter than him. It ain't like that's just the default thing that females do. So meaning it's likely she'll get back with his ass on the low, which is
Tory Lanez is the singing version of Edward Anderson. Just so y'all know. Because I'm just gonna say the way that this nigga diced up Bun B and all these other motherfuckers, and the way that this nigga Ed talks, nigga, and y'all might have shared a womb, nigga. Have you asked your daddy? Have you asked your mama?
Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy.
Well, I mean, Edward would take a nigga head off too.
That's what I'm saying. The way that this nigga ate Bun B up, yeah, I was like, damn, this nigga is. And he's supposed to be short. This nigga might be Ed little brother, nigga.
Yeah. Hey, well, let me ask Kay. I want to ask Kay something. I kind of want to ask you something because the thing is, now that we're talking about this and the timing, like you say, the timing. Do you think that the manipulator of the chessboard could have staged this shit all along?
Nigga said the manipulator of the chessboard.
Oh, I don't put it past them. I really don't. And to be honest with you, you would only see that within the next coming weeks if she starts getting on vote Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Vote Joe Biden, vote Kamala Harris or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just being honest, you know. But because, you know, right now, at the end of the day, we're still in the age of the Me Too movement. It's funny that you bring that up because I was just telling a friend a few days ago, I was telling her that we was going through movies, and I'm a movie buff. And I was saying, man, Superbad, Knocked Up, The Wedding Crashers, movies like that came out years ago, but they came out back to back to back. I said, just imagine if these movies would have came out right now. And what we're dealing with, they would have took that and they would have shut the movies down because of the things that they were saying. 40-year-old virgin, them jokes, they were priceless. They're timeless jokes. It's still hilarious to this day. But because of the movement that we're in right now, it's not. They would have shut that production down. You know what I'm saying? So that could very much be that. Exactly. That could very much shut this down.
Remember Luna?
Been shut down. But I do believe to piggyback off the Time magazine thing. What I want the viewers to know is that when they come to Time, Ford, magazines and stuff like that, they're not saying, "Oh, this person made this much," or the richest musicians, or the Time most influential people. They're not saying that to us. They're saying that to the bigger up. To see, okay, who we about to work with, who's really trending and pulling in numbers and everything else. So I don't believe that, because I believe that there's something behind Megan as far as an agenda or her music. There's a lot of money being back. She gonna owe a lot of people. So of course, there's a machine behind her. Yep. But I don't believe that was for us to say, oh my God, yes, she's an influential person. I believe that's really letting the higher ups know, okay, this is the person that we got to do deals with. That's just my opinion. Because with Forbes, a lot of that stuff, people get net worth messed up with assets and all that other stuff. A lot of them people don't really be as rich as they say that they are.
So basically what you're saying, which I just saw something on Netflix, which called The Social something, you're saying we're the damn product now, aren't you? That's what you just said. Basically, she's the sacrifice ghost, and we are the product to this bullshit. Wow.
Well, yeah, attention. Yeah, they're getting better and better. and really dealing with social media in a much more macro way. You're starting to see it as to how sophisticated they go about a lot of misinformation on a lot of different things, whether it's product placement, whether it's supporting like, movements, fake support for movements in order to get more profits. Like getting in front of that, they're getting a lot more sophisticated. And they're probably starting to hire a lot more internet marketers and put the kind of money behind the right people, and not, or at least the marketing agencies are starting to get the right people hired so they can still, get the big bucks that are worth getting. You notice how, like in the last election, how it was all these billionaires spent all this money and they basically set the money on fire because they were just throwing money and it did not really get the kind of votes or anything that
Mm-hmm.
they wanted, versus you take somebody like George Soros, where he invested more in a movement, a
Mm,
manufacturer movement, than he did an actual politician, and he was able to use that in the next election to leverage. Same thing when you look at how Obama took a lot of these conservatives, completely off guard with like social media. And then literally the next election cycle, they were much more sophisticated how to go about doing it, really surpassing liberals in probably every metric as far as having things like the Blaze, having just a much more sophisticated. And I can tell you as an internet marketer that most internet marketers are libertarian. They lean more Republican than they do conservative. The folks that actually know what they're doing, and actually do the actual lab work as far as what moves the numbers. So a lot of this misinformation. So each cycle you see that it's almost like a new world when you look at Instagram, look at where social media is at each 4-year cycle, even each 2-year cycle, really each 4-year cycle. And now you're starting to see, when it comes to to Megan and all of them, Cardi B, like none of that stuff is by accident. Them talking to Cardi B and all that's not by accident, talking to Megan by accident. And it really just goes to show you that a lot of people are a lot more sheepish than they used to be. You got to remember the type of shit. I'm 33.
mm,
And the type of stuff that I say that because when I graduated high school, the type of stuff we were educated with, a lot of these younger dudes that are younger people that's like maybe 10 years younger than me. I mean, or more. I mean, they take shit out of the curriculum that almost got these motherfuckers like, what the fuck are you all learning? The shit, half these motherfuckers don't even believe slavery is real sooner or later now. Because
yeah,
you
It
were
was
you
indentured.
were
It was
indentured
indentured
immigrant.
servitude. Yeah.
Yeah, they really be trying that and shit. Texas be leading the charge in that shit.
did I tell
So,
you?
Texas
What
did
I tell
that
you
shit,
about
and
Texas?
every state
What did I,
surrounding it got those books.
what did I just tell y'all about Texas? How rude they are, man. If anybody's some gangsters did not come out of New York. The gangsters came out of the South, especially fucking Texas. You want to see some ruthless people, white people? Go to Texas. Just
Man,
call,
amen.
just call Oprah. Just call Oprah. She'll tell you. She'll tell you. They ruthless, man. When she started talking about that mad cow years ago, some of y'all probably wasn't even born. Them Texas
You
cattle
talking
were
when the
like,
beef industry fucked her over?
yeah, man. Them cattle were they like, bitch, what you say? And guess
Yeah.
who came to her rescue? The
She had to
wives
get.
of them cattlemen,
oh,
because
oh,
they say
oh,
we
oh,
love Oprah.
Oh yeah, and on some hip hop shit, I just gotta say this. Remember when Ludacris is he, he kind of vanilla compared to some of the shit they do now, as far as some of the stuff he used to say versus what some of these women say today. And remember when Bill O'Reilly went after Ludacris and he didn't get that Pepsi endorsement? That was like the first thing I thought about when I saw Cardi B with a Pepsi endorsement on that Super Bowl commercial. I'm like, Ludacris
Yeah.
didn't go nowhere near as hardcore as like what Cardi B and them have done. Yeah, everybody made it like Ludacris was like public non grata enemy number one when it come to, oh my God, look at what he's doing for the culture. So a lot of younger folks don't remember that, but I remember that shit.
Yeah,
And
they did
Ludacris,
go after him.
Nelly too. Like their albums could go there, but it never was like they were moving the whole paradigm and shit. Anyway.
But that goes back, like I was saying, that goes back to the agenda that's being pushed. And a lot of people are, for instance, for example, a lot of people are shocked or having a lot of commentary about Cardi B and Offset divorcing. But I saw this last month when Cardi I saw this last month when Cardi B was named the face of Balenciaga, and she was in front of the Louvre in Paris. You know what I'm saying? She did her whole photo shoot there. you don't get to spots like that unless you are beginning to transcend to another level. And so it was only right. I'm not trying to say that Offset was bringing her down or anything like that, but a lot of that has to go into reconstructing an image. So don't be surprised if Cardi B's next man is not black. Don't be surprised if Cardi B
Oh,
is
look
going to
at
take a softer
you.
tone on a new
No,
album
he might
or
be Latin,
something
some
like
white Latin.
No. I'm gonna
right.
go one step. I'm gonna go one step further than you. With she's gonna get that nigga who's coming out of jail. Whoever the dude she was dealing with that was locked up, he's finna get out. She's gonna go back with him because he don't pose a threat. All he got to do is sit and ride passenger seat. As
No.
long as he
I
didn't
mean,
have a
I hear what
molestation
she's
I'm gonna
saying.
charge.
agree with her. I'm gonna
It
agree
may
with
not
her.
even be. It may not even be
They're
her
trying to
choice.
keep her away from Nicki Minaj's image as much as possible.
Yeah,
So
Well,
if
because
you
she
know,
does
Nicki
right.
Minaj dealt with a predator, right? As long as this nigga
No.
don't have predatory charges,
So,
I don't think he'll be a threat.
but here's the difference.
She
Cardi B can tap into a global audience. It's particularly like the global Latin audience, but even Africa and stuff like that. So everything that Cardi B has been done is elevated. Is really her ability. They like to take these focal points and be able to say, can this person be marketable to X, Y, and Z? And then they test how these people appeal. Cardi B, like Africa, when she went to Africa, I'm gonna tell you, I don't think that a lot of the folks thought that she would appeal as much as she did in Africa. You know,
Oh
they
no, they
knew
love
the
that shit.
Latin piece. They knew the Latin piece, but they didn't. So really, you what's called is right when she says, because getting a
Okay.
dude, what's the point of leaving Offset if you just gonna get a dude like that? And
So so
what's the point?
my logic on it is this: she's the 2020 Stephen Fetchit. This is a motherfucker who somehow got in front of Joe Biden. Well, what somehow we know how that happened, and was going okay and all that extra shit, right? So
That's some dumb shit too.
Right,
she's
dude.
the WB frog in my opinion. She's the WB frog. So realistically, you can put her in front of a white man or a white Latino. It's going to be a white variation of white man, right? And say they're going to match. But in reality, unless she gets her mind right like Eve, the shit's not gonna happen. So do you think that Cardi B is gonna go from okay to being with a white man? I don't
Oh,
see it.
No,
let me
hell
try.
no. That's not. That's not.
Let me say this because I gotta go. I gotta make a run. I'm
Do
gonna
you think?
what you just said, Donnie. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna take what Kay just said and I'm gonna take what Ed just said and put that in the blender. You just said it. So Kay, you just said she's doing photo shoots in London. So now they about to upgrade her ass. So she got to leave the hood dude. So now she's going sophisticated. Remember, always focus on money. And if you go back and look at it, you can now become you can become a guest of this master of the chessboard. Because remember,
Mm-hmm.
everything around them is ruled by what? Do, re, mi. And white folks ain't playing. The power elites, like, we gonna use this is our prostitute. We're gonna use her. We're gonna fuck her in a different way though. We're not laying with her, but we're gonna use her. It's like Mayweather. Mayweather like makes a lot of money. Who signs that goddamn check is making astounding money. So I kind of
amen.
agree. I kind of agree with what y'all two say. Hey, I gotta make a run. I'm gonna try to get back and listen to the show. Talk to you guys later.
All right, Fab. We'll holler at you later.
All right, peace.
Go ahead. So Ed, what was you saying? So you don't think she'll get with a white man? You think she'll be placed with a white
I
man?
mean,
What, what,
I'll
what,
say what I thought. I thought Kay wanted to say something, and I'll jump in after her.
oh, okay, go ahead, love.
No, what I was saying was just to piggyback off of what the gentleman said before he got off was yes, he's absolutely correct. It will be just like that. It'll be someone that's elite. It'll be someone with money. She is expanding. You know what I'm saying? Her resume. And to be honest with you, with the whole prostitute thing, she can't knock that because she said that's what she was. You know what I'm saying? All of her songs say that. Before she was famous, she was saying that. When she was on Love
Yeah,
and Hip
that's her
Hop, she was
appeal.
saying that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
they they
that's
gonna
her
Stephen
appeal.
fetch her. She's gonna
Exactly.
be a coon for hire.
Yeah,
They
yeah, and they're
didn't
not
have
gonna
to.
treat.
If MK Ultra is real, they didn't have to do that on her. Honestly. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, they're not going to I mean, they don't completely transform these people. And keep in mind, the difference between Cardi and Eve is Eve didn't appeal. Eve got with a man. It wasn't about her marketability, not like that. And Eve's got a job. And I'm not taking nothing away. I'm not taking enough away from Eve because Eve was a product of her time. Like, and I'm talking about where black people were at that time and what other people were. Like, even though she was a stripper, that wasn't something that was really promoted. Like that. It was promoted
That
how
was some shit
hard.
you found out if you looked. You had to look for that.
Yeah, and
Cardi
that kind
B
of
is just in the air.
yeah, and you wasn't surprised given kind of like the way she was marketed as like a tough chick, kind of like how Remy Ma. I mean, Remy Ma is really kind of she's kind of a product of how she's marketed would
But
have been better in the 90s. She would have been more
but
successful in the 90s than what she
Not
was in
kinda.
like
but
She did some work
but
with her.
even with
That's not no
even with
gospel.
those two women, right? So if you look at Eve, Eve could actually rap. Remy Ma can actually rap. Cardi
again, these are
B
products of those
is
times, but you don't
right,
have,
right,
yeah, because at that point you had to have some skill. Now you don't, and we've
right.
always seen that transition. So going back to like, and here's the thing: I don't think so much as somebody knocking on the door telling her what to do and not to do, because she didn't get from where she was to where she is just by people just holding her hand. Really, it's just even with her getting with Offset, as far as I'm concerned, was a hip hop political move because people forget. Um,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. That ass.
Cardi B, and I'm not saying specifically contrived, but keep in mind, Cardi B used to be a groupie. Her music was trash. It still, in my opinion, is trash. It's just that her stuff was exposed to more people. That's the only difference. Nobody, the same stuff that she was doing when she had an Instagram following, she was building up via World Star Hip Hop, and she was a groupie. She
We're gonna
sucked
be
off a
honest.
lot of
Bodak Yellow
rappers
was
you ain't never
trash,
heard of. Yeah, she sucked off a lot of rappers you ain't never heard of because she was kind of trying to get in the game, and then Bodak Yellow kind of just blew up, and then she just
and that
happened
shit
to
was
get into
garbage.
well, but hey, that's what I'm saying though, and it was because she hit the right pitch point as far as the audience identifying with her, and that's when look, this in my opinion, this is Cardi B's trajectory, like really quick. She's pretty much a product of World Star Hip Hop. A lot of people liked her stuff because they kind of saw what she was doing as comedy as far as Instagram, because she was like a caricature. So she got about up to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million on her own via the help of World Star Hip Hop and in her own. Then that's what actually got her involved in loving hip hop, which put her on television. And then that's when her personality was exposed to a lot more different people. Because keep in mind, look, a Marilyn Negro's on loving hip hop too, but she's getting traction with nowhere near the traction Cardi B got because she hit a lot of different things. It's the light skin element, it's the I want to be her element, it's the I'm a hoe and I'm free element, the way she acts and
It,
thinks. It's a
I,
lot of and hold on.
it,
If you
it's
ask
her
women
character. Yeah,
if you ask women what do they see in Cardi B, it's always I identify with her. And these are motherfuckers that don't look nothing like her. And when you say what do you identify with, it's all this I want to be her. I want to feel how she feels. Like with the I don't give a fuck shit. They assume she could do that because she's light skinned too, which is added in there. But the long story short is she blew up on Love and Hip Hop and got to like that 10 million, and then that's when that Bodak Yellow blood music started blowing up. And then that's when she really started taking the fuck off. And the momentum just carried. And then other groups like Latin started to pay a little bit more attention to her because she was the thing to be as far as Dominican stuff like that. So long story short, she got with Offset because she was looking up to Offset at that time because the Migos are the Migos. But I knew as soon as she got with them and they got married, I said, yeah, this ain't gonna last. Because as soon as she gets comfortable with her celebrity and she realized she ain't gonna be like, no, fly by night bitch, because she probably was on some is this shit real type shit. Like being on the Super Bowl, as fast as is this shit real, that like it would just come and go. And once she realized, oh, this shit ain't like I actually see that I'm not gonna bottom out. Like, oh, and then that's when she probably started looking at the shit he was doing. It's not so much she didn't like him, but it was like the shit he was doing probably started annoying her a lot more. Cause when women are in a situation when they don't gotta tolerate bullshit, they tend to not tolerate bullshit if they know they can replace you easily. And that's what happened. She started making more money. And then, like I said, she gonna take the Rihanna route where Rihanna fucking different dudes, big dudes, whatever. Not so much a plan, it's just gonna be what it is. And the powers that be are like Darth Sidious. They know how to move and weave no matter what you do. It don't matter what you do. So it's always perceived like it was a part of the plan when they just got a lot of scenarios based on it's only certain scenarios you can go when you're at the level you're at. So anyway.
So yeah, no, my thing with Cardi B is she's a character, and she is the epitome of hood rat hope, right? So this
Oh
is it.
my God.
No, I mean, let's just be honest.
Yo,
She's
that's
the
the
epitome of
title.
hood
Hood
rat
Rat
hope.
Hope.
She didn't end up with any kids, but she got to fuck with all the dope niggas. She was in the streets. I was a gangbanger. I did this and did it. She had the good hair. Her teeth was fucked up.
But
Her
money
teeth
can fix
was,
that.
yeah, but money fixed that. Now she in the game. She winning. She get to be a hood, and motherfuckers like, oh, she real. Oh, and now somebody gave her some bars and she's rapped and she's blown up. Then the teeth got fixed. Then she blew up. Then she met Offset and had the dream wedding with her husband, and she got married and had a baby. Now she's leaving him. And what is she doing now? She's taking pictures at the Louvre and meeting with Joe Biden, a potential president. Oh, hood rat hope personified. And it's not because she's special in any particular way other than she got a social media presence and blew up from there. But the Democrats took advantage of that and took her and ran, and all of these people took her and ran from there. So shout out to Cardi B because I'm not hoe hating. Shout out to you. However, this is an example of how motherfuckers will use you and take it and run. The majority of you women out there are not going to be a Cardi B. It's not going to happen. It's just not. But
Well, Megan Thee Stallion's another hood rat hope.
I would even say Megan Thee Stallion is a hood rat hoe. I feel like Megan Thee Stallion got
hope.
hood rat hope. I don't feel like she's a hood rat hope. I don't even feel like
that's a good terminology. I ain't that's what
I feel like Megan Thee Stallion is a middle class girl that was able to rap and talk some reckless shit. But if we look at Megan Thee Stallion, she keep taking L's. She take a lot of L's.
Oh, well, what's
Right?
the L? Give me an L other than I don't know. Maybe Carrie can
Money bag,
elaborate.
yo.
Give me an L other than this recent one.
Moneybag Yo when he called her musty. He said, "What did he called her?" He said, "Is a something the stallion if she's musty? Did that make her a Mustang?" That was an L.
But somebody said that Cardi B pussy stink. So
no, that was with Blueface, and that was apparently unsubstantiated. But we know for a fact Moneybag Yo said she was musty, right? She could now Cardi B. I'm not just I'm not hoe caping. She could have some foul monkey
no,
or whatever.
I'm not either.
But
It's just one thing about Cardi B too is there's not a lot of people that can't stand Cardi B. You don't have she doesn't have like a lot of like even with dudes. It's not like a lot of demographic other than dudes that people that are like, oh my God, she's so sexually explicit. But she doesn't really trigger a lot of people in a negative way too. That's one thing to keep in mind as well. Like as far as the demographic.
Well, yeah, I feel you. That's what it is. But my thing with Cardi B is a street broad. So being that she's a street broad, she's been through the muckety muck, and she's hope, right? She didn't learn the lessons, and she's moving in a slick way. So if you look at her, she's really rising through the mud on some shit. If you look at Megan Thee Stallion, she's taking a lot of L's. And the only reason she's getting awards and pictures and videos and all the shit she's getting is through her victimhood. But in reality, she's taking a lot of L's for no fucking reason. I think she's a middle class broad that ended up winning. But Cardi B is the ultimate. That nigga is ho Jesus.
Oh Jesus! Are you serious? Who you think will win between Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion beef?
Oh, it's gonna be Megan is a better rapper. However, Cardi B is gonna get up.
Social media not yet. Well, technically, you gotta apply like social media following not in it. I think lyrically, yeah, Megan will win, but I think like when you look at what a beef is kind of like a cult of personality, kind of like I'm not comparing Cardi
Mm-hmm.
B at all to LL Cool J. When you had LL Cool J versus what was the dude? There was the lyricist.
First
Same
off, you
thing
can
with
eat a dick because I felt like he won that cannabis.
same thing with Jay. Well, I'm not saying he won. Same thing with Jay Z and Nas. Even Jay Z admitted Nas beat him, but it's more than just lyrics, especially today. That's true
Not
more. So it's more. So when you beef with somebody, it's more like some wild and out type shit. It's like a comedy
so
thing.
to look at the like so you have two versions of beef, right? So if you look at Meek Mill and Drake was able to win that beef not because he was the better rapper, which yeah, you can object
No,
to
Meek
what the
is a
lyrics
better
was,
rapper than Meek. Like Drake has other skills he brings to the table as far as an artist, but as far as just straight lyric, Meek is
but
better.
but the particular song that killed it was because you could sing in the club. What was King? What was the lyric that anytime it come on in the club, everybody sing?
By Drake.
Yeah, by Drake when he was talking about Meek Mill, Meek Mill
The
and Nicki
only part.
Minaj. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. The only one that I like, the only lyric that I know between that whole beef because I didn't take it seriously was when Drake said, "You got body by a singing nigga." That's all I know.
Okay,
Honestly, that's all I know. I'm sorry.
so basically
But you
Drake.
know, it's funny you say that because you say you did, and I get. I mean, obviously, people you have a right to not take it seriously. But when I'm actually thinking about it, I mean, that shit did affect Meek Mill's career though.
Nah,
It
yeah,
Like
because
did. No,
it
it
he
affected
made
his
the diss
career, it
record.
affected his
did.
relationship.
He
No,
hurt
it
that
did.
nigga
It
on a global
did,
level.
That
but
shit fucked his life up.
exactly the point where Drake is still throwing shots to Kanye to this day, and I'm trying to like, I don't even want to hear that,
Yeah, well,
but
Kanye's a crazy. Yeah, that's not smart.
it's not smart. But at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, when I heard that song, I was like, yo, Drake kind of went off, but lyrically, like the gentleman said, Drake cannot stand a candle to Meek Mill. Just like when Drake was trying to come for Jay-Z, I might have my faults with Jay-Z, but I know lyrically he could hold a candle to no Jay-Z.
Right, but
And
the nigga made it a club banger, so you had to fuck with it. Cause niggas was like, nigga, what? Huh? Nigga,
bro, that would be
he
a
said
great
what?
show, man. That would be a great show, like potential versus battles. I need to think. I'm not in. I ain't in the music enough to really go. No, seriously, because I'm thinking like, because the thing about it is when you look at what Kanye West has survived, Kanye West has pissed this white man off a couple of times. Like, Kanye West has pissed a lot of different people off a couple of times. Like for real, for real, he has survived shit that most Negroes can never hope to survive, celebrity wise. So when you bring that into a beat, like Kanye, I think will fuck Drake up, like real talk. Like if they ever
Ah,
got into it, because I think Kanye's kind of a crazy. You just don't. Kanye,
no.
I think Kanye will fuck Drake up. Like seriously.
Reason I think Kanye couldn't fuck with Drake is because I think Drake. And so the alleged story was when this whole beef popped off, Drake went and paid some broads and allegedly a dude to speak up on Drake, or I'm sorry, Kanye, Pusha T, etc., and that whole camp. And the majority of the dirt he got was aimed at Kanye. If he was to spit a bar at Kanye, Kanye I think would have a meltdown. A lot of what Kanye does, he's a great rapper. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of
Oh,
what he
he
does,
would have a meltdown. He
yeah.
absolutely would. But the thing about it is, that's the appeal. People are used to that from Kanye West, though. That's the appeal of Kanye West, though. So Kanye could kind of, you could throw shots at Kanye West, and people don't really register that because Kanye has made himself look stupid. Think about it. When you look at the George W. Bush don't care about black people, when you look at the shit he done did with Taylor Swift, that's pissing off white folks. When you look
I
at fast
Yeah.
forward to him talk about Donald Trump and running for president. Kanye is the type of person that can take a L. The only real L that I think that would really hurt his image wise, is if Kim just leave him and start saying he can't fuck or some shit like that. Outside of
Mm.
that, really anything else is kind of like
I
we
I just see him crying on the track, and I was like, I don't want to see that. I
no,
don't
okay.
think he
Or
can.
he could turn into go hard Kanye and then talk about how you try to abort your kid because you don't know. Guess what? The difference between your chick sucking dick and my chick sucking dick is mine is a billionaire, yours is you paying child support. Like Kanye, when Kanye gets mad, like people forget Kanye can kind of trust me. I'm sure he light skin tag. And I say this to the light skin nigga too. He will light skin tag. He'll throw Tory Lanez in.
uh,
So you and Tory Lanez need to get deported. I'm a Trump reporter, like some shit like he will
yo,
say some
light
crazy
skin
shit
power
like that.
activate, nigga. Uh, oh, and shout out to Jay Will, my nigga, put it in the chat. Shout out to all the boss bitches, wifey niggas. Yo, that
Yeah.
listen to that shit in the club, man, motherfuckers will they lose their whole mind. Niggas is spraying crystal all over bitches.
I mean, cause I think I remember that Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj. That fucked with her career a little bit. Cause honestly, let that beef would have happened between Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj, and after Remy Ma got with Kenneth Petty, like that shit, like for real. Okay. And another thing, just to bring in the powers that be conversation back into it, they tried to co-opt Remy Ma into that too, but she said no. Because I remember when she had that
Nah, I don't remember
Madame
none of that
Noir
shit.
commercial, and she was talking real feminist and shit, and I was like, that shit don't even sound right because a lot of her audience is male, and she's had a lot of good loyal male support. Not to mention Papoose been stuck by her ass and shit like that. So she walked off from that,
Raising
and
her
that's when she was
kids.
gaining momentum. That's when she was gaining momentum, and then her momentum kind of fell back a little bit because she wasn't willing to play ball at that level like that. Not at that level, but I mean like what they were trying to have her do. And so yeah, I've seen where they don't do it. It's the thing. I think same thing with Marilyn Negra. I think she's gotten offers, and I think she's not complying as readily as they would want. So she's not getting that kind of turbocharged advertising behind her like I think she could.
It could be. Is Amara Negra like Jay Will put the next Honekin Skywalker?
Now, no, man. Marlon Negra is Marlon. A lot of like folks don't understand. Do you know that Trina isn't a network marketing company? Marlon Negra is in the network marketing. Them motherfuckers are selling tea. They getting their audience good, which I'm not mad at them. I'm actually really encouraged by them doing that because that means they'll have their more independence. But they hustling. Some of these folks, they ain't necessarily trying to get the turbocharged shit, and they done
Uh,
been offered. I'm not trying to put them in a better light. I'm just saying it ain't like that. Those folks don't be saying no to them like that because there's people that I see that are in position and you can tell because they kind of get this boost and then it kind of fades out. And it's not because they're not popular with certain people.
Jay Will said because bar for bar, Remy is one of the nicest ever MCs. Rhapsody doesn't get the shine. Who's Rhapsody? I don't know who that is. Doesn't get the shine she should, and she's better than Kendrick in my opinion. I'm not.
Remy will
That's
beat
why
a
I
lot of
stop.
these chicks'
That's
ass.
why I stop everyone. That's why I
Would you
stop
say, love?
everyone. Remy is nice. I said that's why I stop everyone. Remy is nice. Thank you, Jay Will. Remy is one of the nicest MCs ever. But we're not gonna talk about Papoose writing some of her stuff. I'm putting that right there. And then
God
Oh, I
damn.
know. Yeah, just like Wick. Yep. I'm glad you said it.
Well,
as far as Rhapsody go, Rhapsody is nice too. But Rhapsody is also with that whole feminist movement, feminist era. I'm not saying that women should represent, but Black women, this is not our fight. That feminist movement is not our fight. And as far as Kendrick Lamar go, Kendrick Lamar is with PDE. I'm a big fan. And Kendrick writes for a lot of those people and writes for a lot of artists. He's a ghostwriter. So I will pump my brakes with saying Rhapsody is the equivalent to a Kendrick Lamar. That's not her catalog yet. You got to get some more in there first. So
Yeah,
I gotta put that out there.
I don't
yeah, I'm
even know who
glad
And
you
as
Rhapsody
far
said
as
it.
is.
Now I
I'm
can
tripping.
believe somebody
as far as
shot at
Eve
Remy.
Eve is nice. I heard somebody mention Eve. Eve is nice too, but we also forget that somebody was right for Eve as well. So just saying.
Who was
Yeah,
writing
I
for
mean,
Eve?
yeah,
Was it
and that's
Drag
what,
On?
and you're not gonna tell me Safari and people. And here's the thing: when Safari and Nicki Minaj broke up,
I don't
people
believe
found
that
there's
shit.
two reasons why that was, because people always wondered, wow, she seems like she's very loyal to him, even though she she was elevating to the level that she was. And there's two reasons why people, there's a reason why Safari be hosting them Caribbean damn Mocha Fest like whole cruises now half the damn
Yeah,
time.
because the nigga carry his dick
And
in a
also
wheelbarrow.
the lyrics. Those are the reasons why she stuck with him as long as she did. And quite
I
frankly, the funny part is, oh, go ahead.
no, I don't believe. I think the nigga might have had a song here and there, but I've heard that nigga's music. I don't believe none of that shit where they be like,
Well,
oh,
some
he
people
wrote.
are better at writing for other people than they are doing shit on their own. I'm not saying. Let me
Maybe,
be clear here. There's
That's a
percentages
fact.
to it,
That's a fact.
and
That's a fact because
there's percentages
oh,
to it too. I'm not. Go ahead.
that's a fact because people forget that Cassidy is a ghostwriter to a few artists, and Cassidy is a better battle rapper than he is for himself. Cassidy
I
should have blown up a long time ago, but Cassidy is a better writer for other people than he is himself. He can't market himself, so you're absolutely correct.
I'll say this. So I lived in Philly for years.
And
I've
I
seen
ain't saying
Cassidy
she wrote
three
all his shit,
occasions.
by the way.
That nigga can't keep his ass out the fucking street. I know that much. So that might be a lot of his problem. Cause
But I ain't never
I
stopped
didn't
nothing
see that
before.
nigga. I didn't see that nigga just out and about. Like nigga, what are you doing? Like like
Well, right? Ghost writing is like being a drunk mechanic. You know the mechanics, in the hood or where I live, North Carolina. You got to go up to the backwoods half the time. Some of these dudes. Oh yeah. I done had dudes that got some very sophisticated setups, and they even think anyway. Let me get started. My point is, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, but the money goes straight to the alcohol. The money goes straight to the weed. The money goes straight
exactly.
to the hose. Pick a nigga trinket. But at the end of the day, and it always takes them forever to fix your shit because they're not organized at all. But you go to them because it's some shit that they'll save you probably $1,000, if not $2,000 on some shit. Hell, I know some of these niggas, they know how to do body work. And I mean for real, for real. Like they got certifications that they can't keep a fucking job because they're on that bullshit. It's the same thing with a lot of
Uh-huh.
with some low level ghost rappers. The thing about it is ghost rapping is no different than writing songs when it comes to R&B and shit. It's just not. It's accepted in R&B. It's accepted in like the pop R&B side. It's not
Yeah.
accepted in rap because you're supposed to be authentic to who you are. But it's actually a lot more accepted than what it used to be. So now it's kind of like certain artists. It's like if you like their music or you don't give a fuck, you don't give a fuck. Certain artists you could kind of tag them with it. But
Jay Will is
so
starting
yeah,
fires in the comments, by the way.
He is. He really is. He really is. And first, I was quiet. I was quiet.
well, Lupe Fiasco
Because
fucked up when he started talking about them Jews.
totally disagree. Lupe Fiasco lost it a long time ago. If he was gonna come for Kendrick Lamar's spot, he should have did it a long time
I
ago.
I will
I'm
say
a
Lupe
Yeah, I mean
Fiasco will
Lupe,
beat all of these
man,
niggas in Street
Lupe
Fighter.
could have been on it because Lupe had a mainly white audience. So and it wasn't like he was appealing. He had a white audience like the best way for you to have it. Like it was because, oh man, you gotta be a real listener to rap to like Lupe and stuff. So it wasn't like he compromised, having a black audience, but a lot of white dudes really gravitated towards his stuff. But Lupe, like I said, man, when it came to Jewish shit, because people would let him get away with certain stuff, but when he went on that Nation Islam Jewish, they're gonna close the book on your ass when you do that shit. That is the one thing. Ain't no Negro. Hell, Nick Cannon is lucky he's even able to still be seen.
That
They
nigga
don't.
started kissing so much ass. That nigga, I'm
That's because of
ashamed that
my
he kissed
life.
that much
Now,
ass.
That's somebody who publicly did tell him to shut the fuck up. He's like, oh man, I gotta do what's on my heart. I say, do not.
Y'all forgot how powerful Mariah Carey is. That's because Mariah Carey. That
Well,
ain't because he
Mariah
was getting
Carey should have done some more for this
You
nigga got
talking
on the
about
floor with his knees.
why he was on that he's on that Mortal Kombat danger signal, but why he ain't finished? And you saying it's my hey,
No, the right hand was able to pull in the string. She's
Ah!
doing tell-off. You see, she
Are you
doing
talking
something.
pulling
None of this
strings in
stuff
his
happened.
favor?
Ah!
No, yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah.
Because,
Cause
but
he's like,
put it
this
like
the
this
mother, this
though.
the father of
Put it
my
like this.
kids.
If they didn't have children together, Nick Cannon, she wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. But they got children together, so of course she's going to extend an olive
That's a
branch. Why you
cold
think she
bitch.
doing tell off for Oprah? Out of all the people, you gonna
Oh, I
sit
don't
down and
disagree.
talk
I just
about
never considered
no
that.
past and expression? No, she pulling. That was for Nick.
Just save this
That was
turban
for
You know,
wearing
Nick.
nigga. You
do
see him kissing
do
ass.
you understand the thought operation that Nick Cannon fucked up when he did that? You know how many chicks that Nick Cannon has made million followers and shit off his wilding out over the years. Man, he fucked up a
Mm-hmm.
whole harem operation when he fucked a lot of people up when he did that. I know a lot. Man, you Instagram boy, you saw Echo in Instagram. Like, no. That was a whole
All
chitlin
I got,
circuit for real.
all I
And I'm
gotta
just
say, when it
mhm.
comes to interviews and you're sitting down with someone on a level as Professor Griff, what I do know is that when it comes to interviews, there are questions that are vetted prior to the interview of what you want to answer, what you want to speak about,
Mm-hmm.
and what you want to discuss. So what the question should be is not why didn't Nick say all of that, but why didn't Professor Griff let in? I'm gonna just say
Oh
that.
yeah.
Why did
And I'll be
why
like,
did
if you
you let
Nick
him let
Cannon me, I'm
in?
whooping your ass on camera.
So I think Nick Cannon got real comfortable in where he was and thought that he wasn't going to be watched. And I think in the culture and
He's
the
a
climate
fool.
we are, these white folks was going to do this shit because this nigga still. Wait, what was he doing? He was doing America's Got Talent or some
He
shit.
was doing no. He already see he was on the radar because of that. Because remember, they were putting a crazy tag on his ass because he had the audacity to be a nigga asking for a raise. I say, nigga, what? What? And then he had
No, that's
he had the audacity to quit. They said, "Oh, you think you gonna do some not Richard Pryor, what the fucking dude's name?
Kevin Hart.
So Dave Chappelle shit.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's what you think you gonna do? Cause one nigga got away, but trust me, you ain't Dave Chappelle. And they tried to say, oh, Nick Cannon, he's all right. He might be crazy. So he was on the radar. So they already had a eye on him. So when he did that shit, they was like, oh, you pulled the Jew card? Oh yeah, it's weapons free on this nigga. Yes. We've been waiting to
What
make
but
killed
at
this
the
me?
end of the day, everybody knows not to pull that card. You know what I'm saying? Even presidents don't do it. You know what I'm saying? They get shut down real quick. Barack Obama, Trump, everybody knows that. You feel me? So again, I feel you with that, and everything else. I think that was more so of a publicity marketing stunt because that's when Nick was getting on his quote unquote black movement. His, and when they need more following or they need somebody behind them, that's when they want to start shouting Black Power. No this to Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I love his show. But at the same time, again, that was a couple years ago, and then you forward rewind and you get vetted these questions. This is my opinion, allegedly. But me doing some of the podcasts and everything that I've done recently, you can ask what to be asked. You know what I'm saying? You can request what to be asked, what to steer away from, everything else. I've seen it in my face.
Yeah, people
And
that what they
my
do
whole
is,
thing is
especially in certain celebrity size, right? You can send out your assistant to send a packet of what you will and will not talk
exactly,
about. You can ask questions and everything else.
exactly,
But I think with Nick,
exactly.
he had the platform of you can come on and do everything because he erased everybody that came on that show up to a certain point, hoping that they wouldn't catch anything. Like he did an interview with Dr. Joy DeGruy. She's harmless. She be talking some real shit. That shit's gone. I was mad because I was finna listen to that episode and I went to go click on it. The shit was gone.
Yeah, and I mean, and yeah. At the end of the day, man, and this is how a lot of these celebrities, you, I hate. I'm not saying Ray J's pro-black or anything, but the best thing that you could do is do what Ray J did get in some investments, get some shit where you can put some products out here that black people are likely to buy it. It's got a good value add. Not to say that his Ray cons are just marketed to black folks, but shit that you can create economic systems where you can distribute money. When I say distribute money, deal with an economy. You got the money. That's what you need to do. I mean, and the sad part is, even like what people say about what's his name, Tyler Perry making money off of, minstrel shows and shit. At least that's his ass when he owns a
Oh
studio doing it.
god.
So if he does want to do something different, then he has the money to be able to do something different, the infrastructure to do some stuff. At least he's got an economic structure behind it versus Nick Cannon has certain opinions because Nick Cannon is very, very much pro life. He's very, very much pro life. So he has certain opinions on certain things, and I think he kind of forgets that, dude, certain things, places are no goes. And you're right, he did get comfortable. And there's people that if you want to talk the pro black talk that you can have around without necessarily having Griff. I don't really have a personal issue with Griff, but Griff is like Negroes that just feel like that they got to bring up the Jew shit. My thing is, if you were to remove all Jews out of America, you don't all of a sudden eliminate white supremacy. There's a lot of black men that believe that white people wouldn't act up if Jews weren't around. Oh my God, if Jews weren't around, then these white big people would be all right. That's literally where a lot of these dudes be going when they, not Griff, but I've heard people go that way if you actually engage them in a conversation about it. And I say, so you really saying these Jews are telling these white people to be racist? Well, I ain't saying you said it, I did. Okay, you're stupid. You're fucking stupid. I'm not saying that like there's nothing to some of the stuff. I get that, but what I'm saying is these white folks are gonna be racist with or without them. So stop like trying to scapegoat shit by saying that. And then another thing is also think is there's so many other things that need to be handled, and black people are not at the position to handle basic shit. As far as I'm concerned, it's like you can't handle your own women. Then I don't know what the fuck you talk about these folks for. Um, um, well, da, da, da. So Nick can't. It's like he got way too comfortable, and folks like Griff, it's like they gotta always say some shit like that. It's like, dude, knock it off. But yeah, that's on Nick. I blame Nick for that because Griff. One thing you can't say, Griff isn't a deceptive person. You know what he was
Banned
comes
from
with.
everything for
With him.
decades.
Yeah, so and it's like I'm not comparing him to Cardi B, but the same thing with Cardi B. You know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with a Cardi B. If people are not deceptive about who they are, at that point, if you engage them in an interview and if you engage them and you don't control what gets said, and I'm not saying he just really all he would have had to do was say, look, stay away from any Jew shit and we can have a conversation. I'm willing to go anywhere but that shit. That the standard paperwork of what not to say.
Let
And
me
I'm
tell you what
tripping
happened to
fine
Nick
with
Cannon.
that.
I feel
Nick
as though
Cannon.
Nick was set up.
You said Nick was set up.
Nick's arrogance got to him. The conversation went like this: "Hey, yeah, I'm gonna have this black person on here. Hey, man, you should talk to Professor Griff. Yeah, you know what? I should." Conversation with another black person. You know what? Professor Griff. Da da da. You know, I should have him on here. Let's reach out to him. Nick Cannon does some research because he's not no crash test dummy. This nigga know everything, but he felt like he could contain the situation and he would be good. Nick Cannon, whoever's around you and you listen to, you hit your head, and these motherfuckers didn't really care for you. That's just what it was. That's just what it was.
No, Nick
Mo-
believed he couldn't get hit. Nick believed that the rug could never be completely pulled up under him as fast as it did. Like there was
I
nothing he could do
I
that he couldn't mend it.
I believe that. However, the people that suggest that he talked to Professor Griff, he
Oh
was a
yeah, they
crash
need
test
their
dummy
ass
for
whooped.
taking it. Yeah,
They need to be thrown into
let's just
poverty.
let's call a spade a spade. This thing is still he still get out and put that suit on and get out there and talk to these motherfuckers. Cause really where we're at now, I fully believe Nick Cannon has fuck you money. But he has a baby by Mariah
No,
Carey.
he wasn't
So
acting.
even
He
if he
wasn't acting like he had fuck you money. That nigga, the way he was apologizing, that nigga. You know who? The only person I've ever seen to dance like that faster. Remember the dude that owned Shea Moisture when he did that biracial commercial? Man, sisters had him dancing the same
Oh
way. Man,
yeah.
that nigga. He even had a black. He even had a sister that was like his like not gopher like his representative for black women translating. Even she was looking at him, me mother. She said, "You
I,
look
I,
at that nigga
I
like how
sorry, massa.
Vanessa Bryant was looking at Kobe when he
So
cheated."
The reason I think he got like that was because he had his baby wilding out on, I think it was Viacom that owned that. So he had all those people underneath him. He thought that was gonna go, so he didn't want to let go of that because he showed out about Viacom to Viacom about that show. And then the additional reason is his baby mama is Mariah Carey. So ain't no telling what they got as an agreement, but I'm fairly certain she probably put a little shoe in his
So
ass.
he don't have fuck you money. Like he's not in there's a difference between
He,
okay, you can have fuck you money, but he's not you
I,
gotta look at your exposure. You gotta be in a fuck you position. And he was
yeah,
not in that.
I
Like when
think
you
he
look at
has
life,
fuck you money, but he
But
wasn't
it's
in a
one
fuck
thing.
you position. That's what I'll say.
But it's
So
one.
like Ricky Gervais,
But
he's in a fuck you position with fuck you money, but he could be a lot richer. He could be but they took his program and ran and did all this stuff with, and he still had control of it. Nick Cannon had no control over his program, which I don't know what kind of deal he fucked up and signed, but he has fuck you money. In my belief,
that's that
he's not in a
Viacom
fuck you.
lifetime slave deal. But go
Right.
ahead. I think Kay wanted to
He's
say
not in a
something.
fuck you position. And I think that's why he started kissing ass.
and I think also too, um, just just what focusing on the show is that like the gentleman said, he's made a lot of people famous, social media famous as well. So when he started doing that, he got to think about the people that he's also feeding. So I commend in some retrospects to Nick for doing what he can to salvage that
Kissing
at
that
the end
white
of the day,
ass.
because because you don't know what these people would have done to Wildin' Out. You know what I'm saying? That's still one of the great shows that still make us laugh. So as far as black owned and black castmates and stuff go, so I think he really had to do that
Oh yeah, he had a
and
whole
everything. But
infrastructure.
um, I still feel deep down that it was kind of a setup. I really do feel that way.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be, but it's just like my thing is Nick Cannon is way too smart to not understand the position that he is in. And when I say it's about it's not even so much a position; it's about exposure. How are you exposed? And a lot of
The
these dudes, Nick
nigga,
Cannon's been famous long enough, and you got to remember, Nick Cannon ain't a stupid dude. Like when you get into that kind of producer level, like where you're producing stuff, you're actually creating things, and he's done a lot of different things. He should have knew, but I think they never really came. He never got as fast as he got, and then sometimes
Nick
people think
Cannon was the
because you
CEO of Nickelodeon at one point. So let's not play the game like he didn't reach a certain level, right? And CEO of Nickelodeon is small pennies compared to the
CEO of
Viacom.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that nigga was running Nickelodeon at one point, right? Yeah.
You again, it goes back to what I said. He knew what to stay away from, what to talk about. If he interviewed, and I did not see this, but you mentioned it, Dr. Grew. If he did that, do you know what she wrote? She wrote one of the most pivotal books. You know what I'm saying? As far as explaining black as post traumatic, having
She
post
didn't.
traumatic slave syndrome.
But see, he was getting comfortable because he was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Howard, I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna get my degree, and I'm gonna learn about this shit. He started bringing more and more black
Um,
influential people on, and when he got to Professor
right.
Griff, that's when the shit went off the rails.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
Again,
dudes. There's
so
a
I'm trying to just talk about that. If he is doing all of that stuff, he was the CEO. He's been in this for a very long time. Nick has been. He was in Drumline. Okay, he's been. We know what Nick catalog is. He has a very impressive catalog. But again, what would cause him to go? If you go back and look at that interview, if it's still on air on YouTube or whatever, you go back and look at that and you see Griff just sitting down being quiet, I think Nick Cannon was expecting a dialogue, because if you go on Professor Griff's show, and this is no shot at Griff, but if you go on his show, the majority of the things he talk about is about the those people control. I don't want to get
Oh
your
yeah, no,
video
no,
man.
back.
I say they name shit, but go
you
ahead.
yeah, you can say
No,
it on
no,
my
no, no,
channel,
no, no,
but
no, no.
But no, yeah, that nigga's been
Oh,
banned. I said it earlier. That nigga's been banned for decades because of the way he feels. Motherfucker, the Jewish community look at Professor Griffiths like he was the fucking like he was the king of the neo Nazis. Like this nigga was Hitler's daddy.
I'm gonna tell you
so
something
they
that's
look
funny
at him,
though.
they look at him like that, but the Jewish community welcomes Minister Farrakhan. Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
so the Jewish community is against Minister Farrakhan, right? So I think there was a comment that so I watched the episode where Nick had the rabbi on there, and he was very much anti Farrakhan, and Nick did what he was supposed to. He defended him, and he kind of played the situation to the left, but he defended Minister Farrakhan. However, the Jewish community is not a fan of Minister Farrakhan.
Oh hell no, they're not. The difference with Farrakhan though is you can't really take nothing away from Farrakhan. That Farrakhan, like Farrakhan is not really propped up by the media, by the system as is at all. He's self-contained, and so it's almost to the
Hmm.
point where it's like, okay, well, he's not a big enough threat that he's got to be taken out. But at the same, it's almost like he's a necessary control opposition because we don't want to make it like we taking everybody out that's not in the system, and then at the same time, he's not a big enough threat to really do anything. It ain't like these Negroes completely could get behind Farrakhan at like a mass level. And it's
Hmm.
but so we're gonna do what they kind of do with our. I'm not comparing Farrakhan to R. Kelly, but you know how R. Kelly is like taken out of the system, but it's people that really want him there, but he's taken out of like the production side of it. It's that's how so
Mhm.
so it's almost like it's no it's better just to ignore him and then he'll eventually die off because especially when you look at his son and then who he with and shit like that. So they don't really see him as a long term threat. But they don't
Right.
like him
Uh,
Hmm.
well, all I have to say is about that. All I have to say, and I have the utmost respect for Minister Farrakhan. Shout out to him. But all I have to say is do your research on the NOI. And that question that I just asked about the Jewish community, if they want to just do your research.
Well, see, the
Go
NOI
ahead.
need to worry about Scientology too, because you know they fucking up. But that's another conversation for another day.
So at this point, I'm turning into a pumpkin. I hit my 3 hour mark. I try not to go over 3 hours. We're a little bit over, but I'm gonna wrap this shit up. So basically, for y'all that don't know, I just moved into a new house. I'm getting settled and shit, and then I built a gaming streaming PC. So I have this whole setup with badass Wi-Fi. However, I'm currently out working and not available to be at home. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to be shows with we'll go with the old format, minimum visuals, etc. But next month, nigga, it's on and popping. Aside from that, I'm going to give everybody their last statement. They can speak and say what they want to say, and then we're gonna wrap the show the fuck up. So originally the show was on Tory Lanez and Trust the Shooter. Uh, whoever
Sure.
want to go first, whoever want to go first, you can go first. But give your final thoughts and wrap it up.
I'll say I'll
Go
say.
ahead.
Oh, of course, I knew this was gonna happen. Yeah, you ladies first. We'll do that. We'll do the old school ladies first.
Lady, lovely key.
Okay.
What you want to say?
Thank you guys. Again, I do believe that there is more to the story. I do not believe that everything that Megan said happened. I love her. You know what I'm saying? Some of her songs I like. I like Cardi B. This is not a bash on my behalf. This is just me pointing out because I'm a deep researcher in all things. And
Hello.
Yeah, I'm saying. I'm looking at my phone. Shit, is the shit boring out?
No, as soon as she said she was a deep researcher, they said, no, we can't have a nigga that researches.
Research, nigga. Not on this show. You was talking about Professor Griff.
Not
We've been alerted,
not
nigga.
on YouTube. Yeah. I just wanna well I'll say well yeah, 'cause okay, when she comes in, I'll jump back. I just want to say this is the first time I've been on the show with a female and have not been called a misogynist, so that does need to be marked. You know, so yes, I do know how to get along with women, and it's definitely been nice talking to Kay. She definitely does sound like somebody that knows what they talking about. But you usually have that on this show. As far as like the Megan Tory Lane stuff, yeah, I agree with her. There's more to that, but at the same time, you know, we'll find out later on when these motherfuckers get broke and they need to do a tell all book or some bullshit. You know, so as far as the Griff situation, as far as at the end, this is what I would say. At the end of the day, you know, it's all hip hop nigga politics. That's really all it is.
Yeah,
And nowadays, the
yeah.
shit is complete marketing. A lot of your ability to rap doesn't. That shit is almost like a separate world. Your ability to be lyrical and make good music is almost like a separate world than necessarily what is popular. Because these songs nowadays are just used as marketing tools. Like you know,
Mm-hmm.
like for example, you know how like sometimes people will get famous for doing a certain type of commercial, like maybe AT&T commercials or the Allstate commercials, or
Yep.
they do a series of commercials. You could be that Subway guy or that AT&T
Yeah,
girl,
yeah. The Sprint
shit
nigga.
like that. Now that's how it is with music. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like the just like how the commercial is a medium to give you exposure to a lot of things, and maybe there could be something that spins off on that. That's how music is helped. That's how porn is now. You know, where a lot like women, a lot of these folks, they're not even going. They'll use porn as like a jump off point in order to do other things. That's what Mia Khalifa is a perfect example of that. And she's going. Apparently
That shit failed.
she opened the OnlyFans apparently.
Did she? I
I
thought
heard
she
that.
was talking about I don't want to be in porn all
No,
my entire life.
Go check out Donovan Sharp. Go check out Donovan Sharp. He just opened it, and I clicked and I checked. I didn't check out I checked out the link, and yeah, it's $11. So that bitch she done surrendered. She
Oh,
said
the struggle. The
no.
struggle.
Once she saw that Bella Thorne money, she know the type of traction she used to have when she was out there because
Uh,
it's not a lot of Lebanese or Middle Eastern chicks doing that. She said, "Yeah, fuck
mm-mm.
that." She ain't a yeah. And so at the end of the day, it's zero sum. That's what I'm saying. There is no this pretense that it's about talent. It has nothing to do with that. It's about popularity. It's
Are
about
you sure? Are you
popularity.
sure you don't want to hear her give sports news?
You know, you, but I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna be done. Here's the thing: Mia Khalifa is not that much different than what's her name, Tommy Lawrence. They're not that much different.
Oh,
Uh, Mia Khalifa is not that much different than Tommy Lawrence. The thing, same thing with Megan Thee Stallion. What you have to understand, just Megan Thee Stallion uses sex via hip hop medium because that gives her the most traction as far as money. This is why all the twerking stuff does that, and she wasn't the first one to do it. Nicki Minaj, look at what Nicki Minaj is doing with that damn Takashi shit. Her titties all out. It's all
man.
designed to use sex to protect it to get popularity and make money. But Mia wouldn't be in a bad. Same thing with what's her name? What's her name? Brittany Renner. Like if these chicks like accepted who the fuck they
Fell
were
off.
and how they get down, and say, look, you just need to not be a 100% bitch, and then just understand that some people gonna judge you for what you did, but everybody gonna say it to your face like that, and just be good with that and move on. Stop trying to act like you gonna be a wife and you gonna renew
Multi-million
your
dollar hoes.
yeah, like just be what it is, get your money up, and that's it. But whatever. Anyway, my point is a zero sum game, and that shit is more obvious than it's ever been. Anyway, other than that, man, yeah, we need to get you like we got Roger, man, because Roger is pretty much consistently doing like 40, 50, 66. Now that everybody know, that Roger's place is the place to be as far as cussing niggas out, calling other YouTubers.
Listen, you can do all that foolishness. You can go to the backtracks and see where they. I was
That's
going
what
at
I'm
it with
saying,
niggas and everything.
Yeah,
My
all you
thing
got to do is
is
add a couple other chicks, and then you'll get the niggas over.
yeah, it'll pop off. My thing is as soon as I get the crib ready, oh, I'm finna have a field day, nigga. I got I don't know if you do the gaming PC, so I got the Ryzen 9. I'm about to go get the 3080. I'm finna upgrade from the 2080. I'm finna go to get the 3090 as soon as that motherfucker come back in stock. And yeah, it's finna be on and popping. But you know that's a couple weeks from now. I'm out currently working and getting my shit together. But yeah, no. Listen, people, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is the Habitual Line Steppers Network. So you got the Roger Report, you got Habitual Line Steppers, like the breakdown, a woman's perspective with Sister Danielle George. You got Dark Skater 7, shit, Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Shit, you got this heathen ass nigga here, Edward Anderson, on the program coming, showing his love. He got more listeners than all of us, I think, at this point, right? You got what, 2,000 subscribers?
I got 3,500, and then
Oh
that's
yeah.
I'm about to jump that shit up because nigga, like you should see some of the titles of my shit. My shit is thoughts and you ninjas. Like, so I don't know half of where my subscribers are coming from, but I'm about to actually start organizing. I'm actually gonna do a soft relaunch of my channel.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start doing more uploads. I'm about to start doing a lot more sophisticated stuff. So it'll be interesting.
Okay, yeah, so we get it popping, but you know, as per usual, at this point, my thoughts on the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation is the bitch is lying. The bitch is lying. No, I based on the album that was put out, we got another perspective on the situation. It felt like there was a lot of heart and emotion put into it, but honestly, it gave us a different side of the story. And you know, there's always three sides to the story. So having two sides of it gives you the third if you got some good fucking sense. Aside from that, it was a fun ass conversation. I hope to see you again. And as per usual, I'm sure at several points during the show, you felt like me, one of the other panelists on here, like Edward, ain't shit. Well, guess what? You ain't shit for watching. Y'all have a wonderful day.